Welcome to the deep side. This is Mike Allen, and you're tuned in to Digging in the Word. Digging in the Word, yeah, we going in deep. Truth for your heart and the wisdom you keep. Line by line, every seed gon' grow. With Mike Allen breaking down what you need to know. Digging in the Word, let the Spirit speak. Life in your steps and strength for the weak. Every page turned, hit your soul so clean. Digging in the Word, where the truth is seen.
Turn it up now, let the Word unfold. Breaking down Scripture with a fire so bold. From Genesis lines to the prophets and kings, we're learning how to walk through the storms life brings. Hope for the hurting, peace for the day. Mike Allen brings the truth in a fresh new way. Open up your heart, let the message be heard. This is real life talk when we dig in the Word.
Digging in the Word, yeah, we going in deep. Truth for your heart and the wisdom you keep. Line by line, every seed gon' grow. With Mike Allen breaking down what you need to know. Digging in the Word, let the Spirit speak. Life in your steps and strength for the weak. Every page turn, hit your soul so clean. Digging in the Word, where the truth is seen.
Bible in your hand, mind locked in place. Truth on the mic, this is food for your faith. We don't chase hype, just the Father we serve. And every episode hits you right in the Word. Step by step, yeah, we walk in the light. Breaking down darkness with truth so bright. So relax, lean in, let the message be heard. This is Mike Allen, digging in the Word.
Digging in the Word. Oh, yeah. Yeah, digging in the Word. So deep. Mike Allen on the mic every week. Digging in the Word.
Fade with ad-libs.
Yeah.
Keep digging, keep growing, stay in the truth.
Yeah. Welcome to the deep side. This is Mike Allen, and you're tuned in to Digging in the Word. Digging in the Word, yeah, we going in deep. Truth for your heart and the wisdom you keep. Line by line, every seed gon' grow. With Mike Allen breaking down what you need to know. Digging in the Word, let the Spirit speak. Life in your steps and strength for the weak. Every page turned, hit your soul so clean. Digging in the Word, where the truth is seen.
Turn it up now, let the Word unfold. Breaking down Scripture with a fire so bold. From Genesis lines to the prophets and kings, we're learning how to walk through the storms life brings. Hope for the hurting, peace for the day. Mike Allen brings the truth in a fresh new way. Open up your heart, let the message be heard. This is real life talk when we dig in the Word.
Digging in the Word, yeah, we going in deep. Truth for your heart and the wisdom you keep. Line by line, every seed gon' grow. With Mike Allen breaking down what you need to know. Digging in the Word, let the Spirit speak. Life in your steps and strength for the weak. Every page turn, hit your soul so clean. Digging in the Word, where the truth is seen.
Bible in your hand, mind locked in place. Truth on the mic, this is food for your faith. We don't chase hype, just the Father we serve. And every episode hits you right in the Word. Step by step, yeah, we walk in the light. Breaking down darkness with truth so bright. So relax, lean in, let the message be heard. This is Mike Allen, digging in the Word.
Digging in the Word. Oh, yeah. Yeah, digging in the Word. So deep. Mike Allen on the mic every week. Digging in the Word.
Fade with ad-libs.
Yeah.
Keep digging, keep growing, stay in the truth.
Shalom, shalom, family. Blessings, everyone. Blessings, blessings. Good to see you all here on with none other than Digging in the Word with Mike Allen and friends. We have another one tonight. We're gonna get back into what we started a couple of weeks back. I'm so excited. Uh, uh, Sister Deborah is in the backstage. We're gonna bring her on. Brother Yahuel. He's gonna be coming in on a little bit later. He's tended to some family things, and we got the family in. I see everybody getting in the rows and they filing in, and then we yeah, I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion. I pray that all is well. Everyone had a blessed Shabbat, blessed weekend this past weekend, and we're gonna get into it. So let me bring her on. The lady.
Hello,
Shalom,
Shabbat.
shalom, blessing.
Hello, shalom, shalom. I love the music. Love the intro. I could just keep on going. DJ Michael.
Yes, yeah, digging in the word.
Mhm.
We're
You know,
going
DJ
in deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. I'm in the car pumping it, over and over and over again.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm definitely am appreciating this new theme, and it's kind of like my flow, my speed, and
Yeah.
I think it's very fitting, very fitting, very fitting.
Mhm.
What's going on, family? How are you guys doing? How are you
They
guys doing? Sister D, how
Yeah.
was your weekend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Shalom,
good.
shalom, blessings, brother Gray Beard in the house. Good to see you, beloved. Let's get it
Listen.
on. Nathaniel in the
Yeah.
building. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jela Azriel, blessings. Shalom to you, sister. Good to see you tonight. Looking forward to your comments. And
Yeah.
Mishpacha Beit Yahuel. Shalom, family. Good to see you all.
Shalom.
Blessings,
Shalom.
blessings. We're looking to get it in
We're
tonight. Get it in, get it
exciting.
in.
Yeah.
House
Yeah.
of Lamar. What's up, brother? Shalom. Blessings to you. Good to see you, beloved.
Yeah, brother Michael, I was just excited because we had this great time on Friday. Shalom, brother Sheldon Williams.
Yes.
We
Shalom,
had a
brother
we
Sheldon.
had
Blessings
a
to you.
great time, and great feedback also from the sisters
The
commenting
sister
and sending me emails and
commenting. Yes,
comments.
yes. And on what happened Friday night. That's what I want to know. Like what happened that night. Come share with
Oh,
us. Don't bring it out there and then pull it back. Like, come on, don't tease. Come on. What
yeah.
happened? What happened? Talk to the people. Talk
Well,
to the
Sister
people.
Yapa hosted a live stream for the women in patriarchal families, and sorry, polygynous families, sisters. So there was 3 set of sisters with their sister wives, and she had great questions. The link can be found on my site as well, and it's on my live stream. And it was like a 4-hour discussion going through a variety of questions about the lifestyle, about how they felt about getting into it, how they feel about adjusting, and we talked about jealousy, arrangements, and all kinds of stuff. But of course, it wouldn't be a great podcast unless you got some hate mail. So you hit
Some hate mail. Listen, you gotta love the
I
hate
see you
mail.
can love it.
Listen, the haters
Mhm.
make you great,
Yeah.
So yeah, so you get some hate mail. That's a good
Mm.
thing. That's a good thing. That's a
You
good
know you
thing.
did a good job.
Yeah, I think hate mail is good for your teeth. It's good for your teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
sharpens
yeah,
your
yeah.
teeth, it sharpens us in
Sharpens
the
your teeth,
word.
brightens it up. It's kind of
Mhm.
like fluoride, right? Just
Yeah.
anti-cavity. Clean
Mhm. So my sisters
hate mail.
also that grew a little bit courageous because I'm glad to see them, and hopefully I will see more of them come out
Yes,
as the time goes by if if
yes,
the Lord, the
yes,
Ruach leads to
yes.
encourage the women.
Yeah, it,
Mhm.
it it definitely was a blessed stream.
Mhm.
Just seeing sisters just really just giving it from
Mm.
the wives' perspective,
Yeah.
giving it from the sisters on the inside of polygyny and biblical patriarchy,
Yeah.
and how they just handled themselves. I was so proud, how
Mhm.
they handled themselves,
Mhm.
and one by one they got to answer questions,
Yeah.
and because women have questions, people have questions, right? And I think it was like 74, 75 questions.
Yeah, we had to cut it back, and that's why it was
To cut it
4
back.
hours long. We had to
Yeah,
cut
it's
it
like
back.
4 hours
Yeah.
long.
And
It's
but
like,
there's so much more to
whoa,
discuss. There's so
they
much more.
Yeah, they eclipsed the digging in the word live streams. Like, I didn't know you can go any further. Like, yo, it's like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
where they get all this energy from?
Yeah, they did. They did good. They did really good. And Sister Yapa, oh, she's
Oh
good.
man,
I want her.
she's a natural. She's a natural. We gotta get her here. Get her on, babe. We gotta get her on a Matriarchy Monday.
Yeah, we do. I want to invite her, and I've watched her video clips. She's an awesome artist, a singer and a
She's
rapper.
a singer, rapper, yes, an artist, recording artist. You know, travels. You know, the whole 9 yards. She has a story. That y'all is telling through her life. Yes, testimony. And yes, yeah, definitely. She did a great, wonderful job. To say that was her first time hosting a live stream, right? Very well. So, you know, definitely the link you guys are gonna have to check it out if you missed this past weekend.
I'll try to put it in the description. I'll put it in the description of this episode so you can look in and you'll get the link.
Yes, yes. Azriel says shalom, Ema Deborah.
Shalom, my sister. Shalom.
Yes. And your pa's in here with us tonight. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I see your pa. Yes.
Sister. Come on, we're promoting you.
Yeah, for sure. Indeed. It's a little dynamite. Dunamis.
She is. She got a lot of potentials. We can.
Yes.
And you know, she has this way of making you laugh that I think
it's a natural.
we need.
She's a natural. Yes, she's a natural indeed. She's made for the stage, right? You know, a lot of times people, you know, when you see them and you know them in person, you might not see that side of them, or they themselves naturally, comfortably, are maybe like more of an introvert, and they're not, and they're kind of like shy, withdrawn, and what have you, and that being the case, but when they get on the stage and they're in their art and they're in their zone and they're in their thing, like you don't see the shyness. Like, you know, like everyone knows like a Prince or Michael Jackson were somewhat shy, right? But when those guys performed, right, they were a different animal, right?
Yeah.
And that's very interesting. That always kind of like intrigued me about that. She said, I join you all. Mention, Did
you feel your ear scratching there?
She heard us talking about it.
Yeah. Whatever shyness you have, it also the ruach gives you boldness, right? It inspires us as we
in
walk
church. They call it the holy boldness.
The holy
boldness. Yes, way down in the bosoms, the holy boldness, right?
And we need to push back because a lot of the world is saying that we in polygynous relationships are somehow hiding our shame or hiding our suffering, and they don't want to believe the testimonies of good marriages. They only want to focus on what Hollywood puts together and TV puts together on sister wives drama, and you know, like nonsense.
Yeah, it's a worldly thing that you know. Okay, if you're proud, then you have to put it on display, right? I mean, Yeshua's brothers were like that. Like they misunderstood that, you know, their thing was, first of all, they didn't like his ministry. He was embarrassing the family, according to them. They thought he was crazy, right? And so the feast, you know, was happening in Jerusalem, and so they're like, you should go down to the feast, make yourself known. You know, this is how you're gonna get your ministry out there, Yeshua. This is how you're gonna get it out there. Just go on down there and start, you know, communicating your message. And he did not do that. Like, you know, he wasn't really caught up in getting fanfare or having a buzz or having what do you call it, going viral. That wasn't his thing.
He didn't feel like going,
he wasn't how would you say, drawn to that. And that's kind of like how people kind of like this thing is like, you know, you have to be seen. Like, even you see that in the gay community, like, you know, okay, what you do privately, why do I have to know? You know, you know, they have the parades, right? And in the parades, you know, you out with, you know, with wearing thongs and, you know, you dressing lewd and what have you. Like, why do I have to know what you do privately in your home Like if you're comfortable about what it is, if you feel that what you're doing is fine, then why do you have to keep shoving it down my throat? Why do you have to keep
Do you need
and
my approval? Like, do you
you
need
need
my
my approval, right? In order for
Yeah.
you, right? You know,
Yeah.
atheists are like that as well, right? You know,
Yeah.
it's like they constantly have to keep letting you know that they don't believe in God. You know, they
Okay.
have to keep beating that drum. But the
Mhm.
reality of it is if you're really thick in your skin and you really believe what you believe, you
Yeah.
know, it shouldn't really matter to you whether if I believe it or not,
No,
right?
it
It shouldn't.
doesn't. It
It
shouldn't.
shouldn't.
It
It
shouldn't. It
shouldn't.
shouldn't. No.
And that's what I love about artists. And that's, you know, I was going somewhere with this, y'all. I know I went
Okay.
around the world and I came back, right?
Come back
But
in.
that's the
Tell
thing
us.
about artists, right? You know,
Uh-huh.
like an art, a lot of times you can see an artist, they could be the most shyest person, you know, on the planet. But when they get up there in their element, yo, it's a total different animal,
Mhm.
total different beast. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that was
is.
just the point that I was on to make. You know, taking you guys around the world and then coming back.
And then
So,
we're gonna get Sister Yapal come and sing for us one day.
oh yeah, that too.
Right.
That too. That too.
Maybe
Yeah,
if
we
we
could
could
play
use
some
her,
of her music in
you
the
know, maybe we
intro,
could play
right?
it in the
Definitely. Yeah,
intermission
we
or
push
something.
her into listen. See if you can, you know her, right? Now you know her, right?
No,
Now that you
now
know
we're
her,
besties. You might met
yeah,
her once.
you get a hookup, right? So you know, yeah, why don't you put in a word, put in a plug for digging in a word? Like, you know, maybe she could share
Definitely.
some of her music, and then we
Yeah.
could, you know, we could play her music in the intro, and then you know,
Mhm.
people can get to know more about her. Yeah, why don't you do
Mhm.
that? I want to see whether she's up with
Homework for next week. Hear me, sister. I'm going to hit you up after this. Okay.
that. Yeah. So, all right. So I guess we can open up with the prayer. Did we do all of the comments, sis?
Oh yeah, we got the family rounding up. Just a few more, a few more coming in.
All right,
Sister Emma
Emissika.
Seeker,
Shalom,
blessings,
shalom, blessings to you,
blessings.
beloved.
And I think
Yes,
I said hello to everybody that is here. We got 13 people, but they're all coming in, you know. So
they're
yeah,
falling in. They're falling in.
yeah.
All right. All right. All right. So let me open us up in a word of prayer.
Mhm.
Dear eternal Abba, we just thank you once again for this moment, this time, this opportunity to come together in your holy, matchless name. Your Kadesh, Nashim, your your righteous uh stature and your character and your boldness and your divine nature that is above anything that there is. There is nothing like you. There is no one aside you or no one before you, and there'll never be one after you, Father, because you're eternal. And we recognize you. We recognize your presence. We just pray, Father, that you will just look on this train right now, and we pray for your blessings. We pray, Father, that you will just illuminate our minds as we learn from each other. This is a corporate community way of learning where we can have iron sharpening iron. As we dig into your word this evening, Father, we just pray that you guide the discussion and bless those who are seeking to join in, those who are already here, and those who will even watch it on the playback. We just pray, Father, that your presence, your power, your message emanates and that it accomplishes the thing that you send it to do, that you receive the glory. In the name of your son, Yeshua HaMashiach, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All righty. All righty. Here we be. Here we be. One more time. One
Mm.
more time. All right. So I want to welcome everyone once again to Man Cave Mondays with Mike Allen and friends. And we're going to get it on tonight. We're going to continue a topic that we started a couple of weeks back. But before we do that, we definitely want those of you who have any prayer requests, there's, you know, someone that you know, your family,
Mm,
I
mhm,
definitely need prayer. So, you know, I definitely
mm.
need prayer. You know, anyone that, you know, something that you're facing, you know, someone that a relative is facing, enduring, they could be financial, it can be, you know, spiritual, it could be, you know, uh, anything, you know, in terms of your education, wherever it is. We just, you know, ask that you just, you don't have to write. You can, if you like, you can put it in the chat, whatever your prayer requests are. When we get to the end of the stream, we're going to put this banner up again, and then we're going to pray on behalf of everyone's, petitions. So definitely, you can put it in. You just type it in. My prayer for tonight is such and such. My prayer for tonight is such and such. You just type that in, and then when we get to the end of the evening, then we'll just do a mass prayer for everyone. We're not going to call out everyone's individual request, but just a mass prayer for everyone's prayer request, because we find that when we do this, when we exercise in this realm of prayer, mighty things have been happening in this live stream. We have seen, we have received testimonies. I myself have been blessed by prayers, from this particular stream, because, you guys, I had a conversation with Brother Nathaniel earlier this evening, right? And that's the thing, like, you see me. Listen, a lot of times I'm up here smiling. Yo, I'm crying in the inside. I got things going on, right? I'm dealing with my own personal issues. I got family things going on. I got, life issue. Life is lifing for me, right? And so that be the case. Like, listen, the brother needs some prayer too. Brother needs some prayer too. So listen, definitely. I, for one, definitely need prayer. I need prayer for my family. There has been an ongoing battle. I mean, you guys already know about my son, battling leukemia. So definitely, I definitely covered the prayers of the righteous tonight. So that being said, we're going to get right into it. So tonight's topic is, what's the biblical difference between a patriarch and a simp? What's the biblical difference between a patriarch and a simp? Now, last time we left off, we were talking about Hosea. We were in and out of the book of Hosea. And so we're going to kind of pick up off where we left off at, from that night, because we got banners, right? And I want to try to get through these banners as much as we can, tonight, to, this is I think is a much needed topic, because we have what is called the Manosphere. And in the Manosphere, we have this thing called a what's the term with the A? An alpha, right?
The alpha. There's the alpha and there's the beta. Yeah.
And the beta, and then there's the high value man, right?
Yeah, a lot of terminologies.
Right? And then there's a simp. So tonight we're talking about what is the biblical difference between a patriarch and a simp. And so when we define the word patriarch, the common theme or the common definition that we got about what a patriarch is the last time is that a patriarch is someone that's submitted to Yah. Simple. He's submitted to Yah. And when I say submitted, I mean submitted to the point where he fears nothing else over submitting to Yah. Right? He will put Yah first. If it means putting his life on the line, he's going to fear and submit to Yah. Right? That's what a biblical patriarch is. And so that's what we define. And then we talked about the simp, right? We delved in that. We went through the book of Proverbs, when it talks about the simp. And then the simp is the one that is controlled by his emotions. Simp is the one that's controlled by his emotions. He's easily led. He's gullible, right, to the whims of a woman. Right, that's right, Nathaniel. Like Ahab with Jezebel, exactly. His picture would be next to Simp, right?
A pretty woman. That all it takes is a pretty woman.
So yes, and a Simp is submissive to a Jezebel, and Gray Beard said a patriarch leads, a Simp follows. I like that. I like that. That's profound. I think that sounds like a T-shirt.
Yeah,
that sounds like a T-shirt. All right, y'all. Steal my idea. So we left off with that. So we're gonna pick up back on Hosea. So I got a question. It's gonna be the first question for tonight. You ready?
You guys ready?
Y'all got your digging in the word belt on, and your jacket and your hard hat. All right. So here we go. Was Hosea commanded to be a simp? We kind of like left off with this one. but I thought it would be good that we go back to it. Was Hosea commanded to be a simp? We know the story of Hosea. Yah commands him to marry this harlot. I'm hearing Brother Yael say harlot. Harlot.
Yeah. Off the bat, she was already one before. Yeah.
Right. So Nathaniel says no, that he was not a simp. Hosea was not a simp, right? And so so the answer to that, what we said was that Hosea was not commanded to be weak, but to reveal Yah's redemptive nature through obedience and not emotional captivity. Not emotional captivity, right? And that's key. That's key. No, but he was an example of a wronged master. Exactly. Which is a picture of Yah, right, Graybeard? He is the example of a wronged master, right? And so he, his master took it on the chin, just as he himself was commanded to take it on the chin, right? Be disrespected by his woman, be embarrassed by his woman, having to go on out there and go get her and bring her back. It was one occasion that he went out, he was commanded to go out there to go and purchase her.
Pay the wages of the
think about your wife on the corner, right? And you going out there to purchase her for the night so she wouldn't get with other men.
Oh my goodness.
So that you can have exclusive time with her. And that's the description of what Yah does. He purchases us back from off the track. That's a rhyme. He purchases us back off the track, right? He purchases us back, right? And I know I messed up that word. Y'all caught that, right? Purchases, right? Y'all know. I know y'all caught it.
It rhymes.
That was a twister. Yeah. But he purchases us back, right? From out there, from off that corner, from out there in them streets, right? That's what he does. Right? And so that's the picture, and that's what he commanded Hosea to do, right? And that's the reason why he was submitted to Yah, right? So he couldn't have been a simp because he was submitted to Yah. So the Manosphere,
a lot of strength to do that.
A lot of strength. What?
The humility, the shame of the day.
The humility, the pain, right? The embarrassment. People talking about you because they were talking about him, right?
They're probably calling him a simp.
Here we come. He coming to the room and everybody get quiet. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that feeling, right? You come into the room, everybody get. They were talking about you, right?
But how do you how do you look at the other men knowing that they slept with your wife, though?
Oh my goodness. He had a, or you're questioning, did he have her too? Right?
Oh my gosh.
The mailman comes, did he have her too? Right? So you got all these questions inside your head messing with you, making you feel insecure, right? Making you feel insecure in the inside because your wife done been around, right? She done been around.
Yeah.
So we and so Hosea, we discovered, right? We're not going to go through the scripture, but Hosea was commanded to father the children of his wife's children that came through her adultery. So she conceived and bore children from her adulterous lifestyle. And then Hosea was commanded to take those children in as his own.
Take them in. And the DNA says you are not the father.
He is the biblical example of being commanded to be a stepdaddy.
Wow.
Not just a baby mama now.
No,
not just a baby mama.
Yeah.
But a baby tramp mama. A tramp baby mama.
The Manosphere would be like 100% calling him a simp. The way that they, they go after.
Not my people. Yes. He was an obedient son. Yes. Yeah. She sounded like her father. He was an obedient son, right? Yes. Okay. So it leads us to the next question. Should every man follow Hosea's example?
Well, is that question mean?
I feel like I'm up here talking a lot.
No. Listen, I'm interrupting you all the time. Sid, are you asking?
Yeah, you sure do. No, but go ahead.
Are you asking? Should every man take a children of a 304, or are you
Should
asking
they follow his? Should every man follow his? Should every man follow example? I mean,
his
you don't have
example
to
of
give you don't have to give an exhaustive answer. You could just give a simple yes or no.
well, I
And I'm
think that
every this is everyone in the chat.
I
Should
think yeah.
should hold 1 second. Should
Mhm.
every man follow Hosea's example?
You just want
That's
a yes
that's
or
the
no.
question. That's the question.
Mm,
All right, sis,
mm.
guys, what's your answer?
Well, I think his example of obedience, like Brother Bear says, in obedience or in bad decisions. Well, did he make bad decisions,
Was
Brother
it a
Beard?
bad decision? Here's the thing. When
No.
you talk about what Hosea did, you cannot
Mm.
remove what Hosea did from what Yah does.
Yeah, it's an example of
So when
yeah.
Yah chooses a dirty
Mm.
wretch like me,
Yeah.
is that a bad decision?
Well, thank God he did it. Thank God he did. I would
Is
not
that a
be
bad
here,
decision?
you
Look,
know.
Yeshua handpicked Judas. From the beginning, he knew he was a devil, John says.
He knew that.
From the beginning, he knew he was a devil.
Yeah,
So now
yeah.
here's the question.
Uh,
Was that a mistake on Yeshua's part?
yeah, he could have gotten a better accountant. I mean, he could have picked a better accountant. He put him in charge. He knew he was a greedy, lustful
Yes.
man for money, and he put him in charge of the bag.
Yes. Yeah, he would have put him in and he put him in charge. Like, that's the audacity. You know this dude is a crook. You know this dude is a devil. And you're gonna put him in charge of them. You're gonna make him the treasurer
of your ministry, like you.
of your ministry, right? Listen, the ministries of all ministries of the universe.
You know,
And you put this dude in charge,
and he knew what he was doing, eh? Oh, wow.
and he knew what he was doing, and he know he was stealing.
Sister, Zarel says yes.
I would say,
yes.
yeah. Every man
and
should
then
follow his example. And then what did Brian Boss says?
this makes me wonder if all the Solomon's wives were virgins, or if he would take the widows and redeem whores as well.
We don't know, but that is possible, right? But here's the thing: we know that other men took on widows.
Yeah,
we know that other men took on prostitutes.
And wasn't there a lady called the harlot Rahab?
Rahab, exactly.
She was married. She got married eventually.
Exactly. So this idea that men didn't listen, Samuel hooked up with a prostitute, right? So this idea that men in Israel did not take on harlots or women who had a past or women who already had children, right? This idea that they didn't do that, that's overreaching, overarching patriarchy.
Oh,
that takes a script, that they don't do, that it doesn't exist, right? Like, because that's the idea that we get oftentimes here in the Torah community. Like, like that's not the example of a patriarch. But then what was Hosea's example? What was his example?
Well, he obeyed even to the point of taking on the harlot.
Right.
He was commanded, like you said. But would he have done that voluntarily? I don't know. It was a command.
Right. Would he have done that voluntarily? Probably, likely not, because it was who volunteers to be embarrassed?
No.
That's why a lot of men take issue with it today, because they don't want to be embarrassed.
But if you feel the calling of the Most High on your heart, look who popped by to rescue the sister.
The myth.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
The man, the myth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a solo selection right now. He's about to sing us a solo selection, a cappella style. No music, everyone. No music. You heard it first here on Man Cave Monday. Yo, what's up, bro?
Digging in the word. All right, how's everybody doing?
Great. Awesome. We charged zooted to the roof, man. Zooted to the roof. I had no coffee today.
None. Nothing, but you feel like there's some energy going on.
I took a nap.
Hey, yo, them
amazing.
naps be
yeah,
man.
Power nap.
How are you doing a running man?
Right. Yo, you wake up like I'm a new person. It's the beginning of the day all over again.
Yeah, power naps going on.
Yeah.
But you
New
know, I want to
mercies and
ask
new
you,
beginnings. Huh?
Brother Michael, can
Yes.
I ask you a theological question now that I got the two brothers in the house here?
Okay.
Because I got a comment about somebody saying we talk a lot about these things, but we don't really define the term fornication. So is it a fornication when a man sleeps with a harlot and takes her on as a wife? Like, what is the definition of that? Is that immoral in any way?
I'm gonna defer to the great one.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna defer to my elder.
Yo, man, I ain't got no gray, man. I ain't got no gray.
Listen, it's a real comment. I'm call for wisdom. I'm just reading it out. So come on, help me out here, please.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
So, when we start looking at fornication, you know, there are two schools of thought. That, at least that I'm aware. You know, one is we go to the New Testament, we pull up the word, and we discover the word pornea, and then from pornea, you know, we get the idea of pornography. And so the way my mind works is it goes a step further than just something that you see. It's, well, what is pornography? Pornography is a person behind the camera, right? Who is recording, a scribe, if you will, recording the acts between entities, and they are being paid for that. So pornea is essentially harlotry that is being recorded for the world to see, that now the world can pay for, in a sense, and observe and be entertained by.
Right.
And so it's not it's not just the act, it's the idea of being entertained by it. You know, we have the text says that the eyes of Abiyah are upon every place, beholding the evil and the good. That doesn't mean that that's our responsibility to do that. To behold what is the evil and the good. And when we reduce this all the way back to the garden, the issue was that the Most High had given instruction to not eat from this thing that's going to open your world up to a bunch of knowledge. Knowing both good and evil. Right. This act of disobedience will now bring death to you. So we see this happen on levels, right? One thing that we can discover, there have been numerous studies done on this, that, you know, men who engage in pornography specifically, you know, as time goes on, they have a hard time being able to engage their Isha in the appropriate space. And so it's as if like death is coming, right, to the very thing that you've given yourself to be entertained by. So in short, fornication can be understood as the act of doing and or being entertained by things that we should not be observing sexually, whether that's with animals, which is an abomination, whether that's with relatives, which is an abomination, or whether that's with some random chick down the street, or some random man down the street, because we are not supposed to make the daughters of Zion and the prostitutes and harlots. And so if the Torah tells us that when we wake up, me and my family was discussing this today in our Boker or our morning Bible study. So we're reading through Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah now. And we were discussing that the idea is that we are supposed to wake up and Torah be on our mind. We are supposed to, when we rise up, when we walk in the way, when we sit at noonday, and when we lay down at night. So if we are engulfed in the culture that he has designed for us to have, there's no room for the giving into being entertained by the things we understand to be wicked.
Yeah.
Like fornication.
Right. Exactly.
So if a man is engaging a woman that is not his isha, she's not betrothed to him, she's not his concubine, then what are we doing? And just because you enter into the role of a concubine, it doesn't. This isn't something that you're a concubine today and then tomorrow you're not.
Right.
That's like serial prostitution. We'd say serial monogamy. That's like serial I'm gonna entertain you for a little bit, and then when I'm tired of you, hey, you can go on about your way. That's not how that works. This woman belonged to this house, this man, and this was her like permanent status. Like you think about David and Shaul, Absalom, David takes upon these women that Shaul had upon the death of Shaul, right? He takes upon himself the responsibility of the women that belong to Shaul. Cool, honorable thing. Okay.
Right.
Then his son goes upon the rooftop and has relations with these women in front of all of Israel.
Yeah.
David didn't come back and be like, yo, you got to go. You should have said no. Now, what he did was it says that he essentially put them away, but it doesn't mean like divorce. It means that he didn't go back into them anymore. So but he still took care of them. So it's like they entered into this like widowed status, yet he's still living.
Yeah. That was that's the punishment in itself.
Yeah. And one thing I just want to add to it is that, with all of that Yahweh listed, with all of those different acts of illicit sex, right? Sex that's not permitted, all of them involve the selling off of oneself, right? It's the prostitution of oneself, whether it's for pleasure, for money, or idolatry. Right. So when you think of the word porneia, right, or the word sexual immorality or fornication, it is idolatry. It is the selling off of yourself, which is prostitution. All of that means the same. That's why the most use of that word throughout the Tanakh involve prostitution. You be hard pressed to find scriptures about it being, the word being used, for just a man just having sex with a woman, right? But it was always associated with prostitution and idolatry. Yeah. And a lot of times, like, people don't think that, like, listen, you have sex with a woman that you are not covenanting yourself with, that you're not marrying, that you're not betrothing or anything like that. You're not going to go talk to the father, and you just want to do it for the fun. You're committing idolatry. You're committing whoredoms.
That is
prostitution. Right.
So that's what the comment was, that they didn't believe that was a sin just because you're not married to have sex. But where I get that, they get that from like the Deuteronomy. I think it's the Deuteronomy 22 or the 21 passage where a man seduces a virgin, right? There's no mention of him having to go and I would say offer an animal sacrifice, right? But he does wrong the woman's father, right? And that's why he has to pay
for the bride price, right? He is wronging the mother's part. So people think that, okay, well, I can just marry her after I have sex with her, right? Right. And that's where that comes from. But yeah, guys, what are you gonna say, bro?
Yes. So that text is also found. We got to remember, like Devarim. So you got Bereshit, Genesis, Shemot, Exodus, Wayikra, Numbers, Devarim. Excuse me, Wayikra is Leviticus, Bamidbar, Numbers, and then Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is the cliff notes to the instruction that was in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. This essentially is your Torah, your history, and then how that interweaves into the instructions and how it all plays out. When we get to Devarim, he's repeating a lot of the history. There's only a few things that we see in Devarim that we don't see in the books that precede it. So essentially, when we go to Deuteronomy, we should, for the most part, be able to find whatever he's saying somewhere that precedes it.
In first 12 books.
Right. And so this particular script that you're talking about is mentioned in the book of Exodus or Shemot, where it actually, this man, once he does this, the control is out of his hands. It says that the father, if he gives his daughter to her, to him, if this man gives his daughter to the man that ultimately violated him, he cannot put her away all her days. He can never divorce her, and he has to pay the bride price.
Whether the father gives it to him or not.
Thank you. I was about to say that. It doesn't, regardless whether the father says, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and you can become my son-in-law." And we see this actually play out in the Torah with Yaakov, with Dinah, his daughter, and Shechem.
Yeah.
Shechem has some type of situation with her, and then comes back with his father, I believe his name is Hamor, after the fact, and negotiates with Yaakov as it pertains to what the bride price is going to be. But he's like, please let my son have your daughter. The sons get together and say, yo, let's make them be circumcised. And so they actually agree to get them and all their people get circumcised. But then we know some of our forefathers went through and had a slaughter fest. They were the original The Purge. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. So this thing about sexual immorality, fornication, right? It's definitely clearly defined. We've talked about that here. They just probably never. But this is on your channel, Sister Deborah?
Yeah, on my channel, but it's also pertaining to the fact you said that generally speaking, we just throw it out, but the person was saying that we never defined fornication. But now you have.
Right.
Now you have. So
well, I mean, and that's the other thing too, and it's important to define it too on that note, because Christianity has a definition of fornication, right? And they would include fornication as being the same thing as adultery. Right.
Oh, yes,
so
yes.
they redefine it to, for what it means. Right.
And they also think that the marriage is a marriage certificate. So anything without a state license certificate is a sin.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so somehow that is plugged into people's brains as this is
hardwired.
It wasn't even until 1929 where it was even established across all 50 states. So my question to you is in 1927, what was marriage?
Before that, yeah.
In 1920, what was marriage?
Yeah.
Right. It was the arrangement between in 1918, marriage was the same, very similar to how it was from a biblical point of view. And that is
Yeah.
two houses came together. Or,
Yeah.
hey, somebody was, on their own. Yo, let's do the right thing.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah. Out of sight, out of sight, out of mind. And that's the reality of history, right? So, there's so much about history that's so important to how we function and live today that we're disconnected from, right? Because out of sight, out of mind, right? So you're not thinking about it because you're busy being entertained, right? You're focused about what's going on here and now, right? But in actuality, like he just said, like that's almost 100 years ago, right? That you would get married and you did not need, or there wasn't any demand to have a state marriage license, right? For Caucasians, right? The state marriage license were demanded for blacks because they didn't want blacks marrying white people. So that was the original history in this country in terms of the state marriage license, because they didn't want blacks marrying whites. So to prevent that, they issued state marriage license. One had to apply for a state marriage license to demonstrate that they're not intermarrying, interracially marrying. Right.
So it
And then
really
they
just started with
realized,
that? Wow.
right. Then
Yes.
it has an
Yes.
evil origin, right? There's an
Wow.
evil origin. And then they realized that it was lucrative for the state. So then they started issuing them for everyone. Right.
And like we look at movies like Braveheart. That wasn't completely made up. Like that was based upon how things were. So for a lord, or duke or whatever to ride through and snatch up a bride before her wedding night and have relations with her is not unheard of. As a matter of fact,
Oh, really?
they did. Yes. As a matter of fact, when you read the book of Maccabees, you discover they did it to the Yahudim as well. The Greeks did it to the Yahudim as well, the Jews that were initially nice and hidden, but when they wanted to conform to the Greeks by bringing in gymnasiums and whatnot, they lost their protection from the Most High. So when they came through over the course of time, in the books of Maccabees, it talks about that the Greeks did the same thing to them.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, let's move it on. So
that was another question that she had posted.
No, that was somebody that she was saying that they asked. That was a question that people have that she wanted it. Okay. That's not one of the banners.
Okay, got
not one of the banners. Okay. So the answer to this question, just to remind you, should everyone follow Hosea's example, right? Yeah, you weren't here yet. The answer is Hosea's call was prophetic, not prescriptive, right? So wisdom must discern whether restoration glorifies Yah or prolongs. They got this new feature on here that it doesn't stay up. You stay on for 10
times out.
It times out in 10 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wisdom must discern whether restoration glorifies Yah. There we go. Okay. Or glorifies Yah, right? Or prolongs rebellion. So Proverbs 26:4-5. Let's go there. Let's pull up a scripture. We haven't pulled up a scripture yet.
Digging in the word.
Right.
Catchy.
That thing catchy.
Proverbs 26:4 and 5. All right. Brother, would you mind reading?
Sure. Answer. Oh, you don't have it in the LSB, I noticed.
No, I can switch it. I didn't go.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I noticed that routinely. You like to use the LSB.
I switch up though. I switches up sometimes.
Okay. I'm on your side.
Listen, man, I got different change of clothes, man. I don't wear the same outfit all the time.
It says, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you yourself also be like him." Man, I needed that one today. I appreciate that. It says, "Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes.
In his own eyes, right? So what's the connection with that? This point that Hosea's call was prophetic, not prescriptive. Wisdom must discern whether restoration glorifies, right, or prolongs rebellion. And I guess it ties into the fact of, just like, one would suggest that, okay, well, I'm going to use Hosea as a prescription, or just to even think to use Hosea as a prescription, it's foolish in and of itself, right? And when you answer someone who's foolish, right? When you answer someone who's foolish, according to their folly, did you subject yourself to that level, right? Um, there's no wisdom in trying to follow something that's not prescriptive. There's no commandment in the book of Hosea that says that, we must follow and do what Hosea. We, from the very beginning, the passage lets us know that Yah tells him to do this to display what he does, in and through us, how he goes back for us, he calls back for us, right? And so a lot of times people will suggest things, right, that beyond what the text is actually saying. And that's where comprehension is so important, right? The other passage is Ecclesiastes 3:1. Let's look at that one. Ecclesiastes 3:1. That is a bit of a stretch. That Proverbs 26 and Western, that was a pretty of a stretch to fit into that answer. But let me go.
Now I like where you was going with that, in that when you're looking at answer not a fool according to his folly, as you were saying, right? So don't stoop down to their level.
No.
Like if there's somebody, I'm just gonna throw something random out there. Let's say somebody's doing a podcast or something and they're being aggressive against polygyny. Don't be aggressive in how you retaliate, being argumentative, especially if both of you all are professing to be people of Torah.
Right.
But then it says, but answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. Meaning now address the foolishness, but you don't have to address it in the same manner
as a fool, right?
So that you don't look like a fool.
A fool. Exactly.
There's another text that says, even a fool, it's one of my favorites, even a fool, when he is silent, appears to be wise.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Right. And so what does that have to say about keeping your mouth shut?
When you do it,
makes
you appear to be wise. Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't even have to be wise, right? But it makes you look that way, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Ecclesiastes 3:1.
It says, there is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every matter under the Shamayim.
Right. So Yah certainly had a time where he wanted to demonstrate this, through Hosea. It's not like it's something that he wants to demonstrate for all men all time. Hey, go get yourself a Gomer. Go get a Gomer. Go get a Gomer. Now, there's lessons to be learned. And I would even go as far as to say that it does communicate, what it is to be like him, right? Because it kind of like was asking this the last time, right? If we are to be imitators, or suggesting this point, if we are to be imitators of him, right? Should we be so quick to banish? Should be so quick to cut off our right hand if it offends us? Should be so quick to pluck our eye out, right? And that's why we made the comparison to how Shaul says, Paul says, in terms of your own flesh, she's your own flesh and blood. She's your own flesh and blood. No man is not going to not care for his own flesh, right? His own body, right? And so a lot of times when we look at our wives as men, you understand, we don't really think of themselves as our own body. And it's very easy when you detach yourself from your woman as being your body to cut her off than it is to what Yah was demonstrating through Hosea that he does for us. Is that, he was long suffering in cutting us off and cutting, his people off, right? He was long suffering. He wasn't quick to go for the, like the hospital, the doctors, they like quick to operate,
Right.
You go in for a little scratch on your nose and it's, I think we have to operate, right? He wouldn't operate for everything, right?
We can fix that for you.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a rush to to try to cut off, and so we got to be mindful of the two. On one sense, we got to remember this is not a prescription. On another sense, it's also an example for us to follow. And so that's the whole purpose of Hosea in the first place, to show he wanted to display his example.
Yeah.
Right. To Israel, right? Through Hosea. It's the same thing in terms of a husband and a wife. What do you glean from that as a man? Your wife, overcooks the food. Do you divorce her? Right? Do you become like the Pharisees in Yeshua's day?
Yes.
You divorce?
Yes, you do.
Does she know how I like my rice, right? So do you burn her for do you burn her? Do you divorce her for any and every reason?
Only if she burns water.
If she burns water, oh, you in trouble.
Oh dear. I'm guilty of burning water though. I
can't burn water. You can't burn water.
You let it dry. Okay, it has to dry first.
Dry.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So here's the next question. Should a wife always be put away for adultery? And I think Yahuwah kind of like touched on that earlier. Should a wife always be put away for adultery? Come on, comment section, chat room.
What do you think?
What do you think? Should a wife always be put away for adultery? Should a wife always be put away for adultery? Soon as you find out that somebody was sampling your cookies, should she be put away automatically? Off the top, off the dome.
Off the rip.
Off the rip. The right and not the left hip. Yeah.
What do you guys think in the chat?
Yes. Jim Moss said yes. Manilo says, see, man, you messing me up with this arroz con chopsticks, man. You messing me up, man. I missed the Manilo, man. So yeah, he said I would. Brian says my first instinct is yes. Careful, being careful because he don't know where we gonna go with this. Jamar says cannot mix seed after the facts.
That's a good excuse, no? We have more. 1 second.
Oh, hey, we got examples of that.
And that's me being merciful. Yeah, not the sampling the cookies. No. Yeah, keyword always. Without that keyword, I would say man's choice. Yeah, that's the thing. It's Yah took back Israel. However, come on. However, what, Brian? Come on, man. You left us hanging, bro. You left us hanging, Brian. Yeah, but however, right? So yeah. So what do we say up here? What do you say, Sister D?
Well, that was a good qualification. Qualifications are good. For always, the word always, the qualification.
Yeah, that word always. Yeah.
I would say no, because the always is pertaining to any circumstance, anything. I don't see that as an example. There is sometimes when Yah divorced his wife, right? He had enough. Yeah. There's an example there. So there's a point where long suffering stops.
Yeah, but his other wife committed adultery, but he took her back. He took Judah back.
So therefore, the always also applies because he chose not to. There, on one hand,
He did both. He did both.
Yeah, he did both.
One had to wait till he died, right, through his son, and the other one he took him back to the land.
Yeah, so that's what
Gave him another shot.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him another shot.
Yeah.
Y'all took yeah. Is there repentance or a track record of rebellion?
That's a good question. When you
Good
have
one,
a
good
track
point.
record, yeah.
It depends if there's a pattern, is what Gray Beard is saying. It depends if there's a pattern. All right, y'all. Well, I see the steam and the smoke coming from your brain.
I want to hear it,
Coming out
brother.
your head. What do you say?
There is a verse that caused me to understand why or how the door could be open to return, and yet it's not like the Most High was out in the streets looking for Israel or Yahudah.
Oh.
And that's Deborah 22:22. I put it down there.
Put it in there. I gotta put it up on the screen so people can see.
I put it in the chat on your channel.
No. I gotta put it on the screen, on the big screen, man. Motion TV.
You can still put it on the big screen.
Yeah, but I'm saying that no, that's what I'm doing right now. Deuteronomy 22:22.
Yeah.
22.
I'll also post the other verses that I mentioned. I will put those in the chat as well.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to just seem like I'm just randomly coming left field.
You're going back to that. Okay.
No. What does that say?
That's if a man found lying with a married woman.
With a married woman. We talk about adultery.
Right, adultery. The man who lay with the woman and the woman, thus you shall purge the evil from Israel. And so both of them shall die according to this verse.
If what? What's the parameters?
They got caught.
They got to be caught in the act. So if the husband didn't go looking for it, that saves her.
Right.
Or that saved her, because nowadays we got phones and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People recording your sin. Like,
yeah.
So in essence, the point that I'm making is, if you notice with the law of jealousy, it doesn't stipulate that if it be found out that she didn't indeed commit adultery, that she has to die. Right. There's a curse that's put on her.
There's a curse, a consequence, but not
but not death, because she wasn't caught in the act. Right.
That's the distinction.
That's a distinction.
That's the distinction. Right. Okay.
So
the answer to the question is, should a wife always be put away for adultery?
Got it. So I was leading into this point here, right? And that is, could a woman commit adultery on accident? Is that possible?
I fell.
Yeah, it's possible. If someone
you said I fell. You said I slipped. No, Sister Deborah just said, "Oops, I slipped and fell."
How did that get there?
I'm sorry.
I was not about to let that slide. I heard you.
Sorry.
Whose is this?
All right, so check it out. I'll give you an example.
No.
A man says, "I'm done with you. I'm putting you away." And so he says, "Don't ever talk to me again. Like, I'm done with you." But he doesn't give her the bill of, like, he doesn't give her something in writing or in text or something of that nature. And then how did the prophetesses of old, the street prophetesses, TLC say it? So I creep. I just kept it on the down low.
Yeah.
No. So what I'm saying is, so she's like, all right, well, he put me away, that's it. And so she's moving on. Only for them to have a conversation later, right? And he's like, look, I considered you know, I need you to like be everything that you said. Like, you're not submissive. I need you to be submissive. You know, what? The Most High showed mercy to Israel. I'm gonna show mercy to you. And then she reveals, I thought when you said that never to talk to you again, it's like I thought that was it. And so now he himself checks himself and it's like, I can see how you came to that conclusion, but I didn't give you. And so she's like, I messed up. I engaged another man, you know, in this time. What now? Because she was honest and upfront, he could be like, yo, that's on me because I didn't make things clear. I left things kind of up in the air. You still should have waited, you know, but I can understand how you deduced that you were free. And so I can see how in a situation like that, he would eat that and then be like, I'm not casting you away. If you're serious about our family, if you're serious about what the Most High has called us to do, I gotta overlook this sin.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That
And now that points us back to Yah's example with Hosea. It keeps bringing us back there. Like we theologically, we often look at Hosea's story as Yah showing us how he kept taking Israel back. But why was he showing us that picture? He's showing us the picture because we are to be his example. It's more than just we are the woman. It's also he wants us to know how we are to be the man in Israel. And so we overlook that point, right? It's an example of how the man is to treat his woman. So if we are to look at Israel as his bride, right? Then what are we supposed to look at Yah as? We're supposed to look at him as the man, as the husband, right? We keep getting that picture. He's the bridegroom coming for the virgins, right? Paul is saying that, you know, that the husband is the head of the wife as Messiah is the head of the assembly, and that she must submit to him in everything, right? We keep getting that picture over and over, right? From the original covenant to the renewed covenant, we're getting that over and over again. We're getting that picture. Why are we getting that picture? Because Yah is not just interested in us knowing how we are to be a bride. He's also interested in us in how we are to function as people, as families, as husbands and wives. That's also what's going on inside there. And so we're supposed to be imitators of him. If we're supposed to be perfect like him, Yeshua commanded perfect like him, right?
I have a question.
Kind of like changes how we look at the story. But yes, what are you gonna say?
So so men are supposed to imitate the way Yah is a husband to the woman, right?
Yes.
And you see the forgiveness part and the washing and the cleansing. So
could you stop right there? I don't want to forget my point. Could you remember what you were getting ready to say? I just want to interject real quick. Picture Israel. What was going on in the book of Isaiah? The men abdicated their responsibility. The issue Yah had with the people was that the men stepped down from being men that imitated him.
Wow.
That was their sin. That was their downfall. Right?
Talk about a grave offense.
Followed. Right. That was the same issue in Gideon's day. The men were afraid of the Philistines. The spies that came back, they were afraid. Right? So when men become fearful, to be like Yah, you understand, then that creates a problem in the nation. It's a ripple effect. It trickles down to the children, to the little ones. But I'm sorry, I just wanted to interject that point. But go ahead.
No. It's not an injection, actually. It's kind of like an explanation, because I'm wondering the state of the women, the adultery, the rebellion, the all that we're going through in terms of our not just sexual immorality, but also our attitude of rebellion, of spiritual
Mhm.
adultery. It's like
Mhm.
stains, like blemishes on our wedding dress, and the imagery of the groom being responsible for cleaning her up.
Cleaning her up. Yes.
Like she
Yes.
didn't come like a virgin, she was a mess.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
he's
this one. Listen, I never got married when I was in the military. You know why I ain't get married in the military? Let me tell you why I ain't get married. Let me tell you my war story. Why I ain't get married in the military.
I did.
Because I seen so many brothers bring their wife from Germany, bring their wife from their hometown, right? Get there, yo, dudes in trouble because the wife don't out there writing bad checks, the wife messing up with the credit, and the soldier becomes responsible for it.
Or she start wilding out.
Yeah, that's the next thing. He getting sent out into the field for training. He's away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, how long. Yo, somebody beating on his cookies.
Oh no! Way.
Yeah. So I one time.
Your phraseology is top notch.
Yes. My unit did the training called in NTC training in California, right? And so me and my roommate, because we had a medical profile, we couldn't go. We couldn't do the duty because we got an injury. So we stayed behind. Yeah, we got in a club. It's us in a club full of all of these women, and many of them are wives. And I mean, the place full. That's what I'm just saying. It's like, yo, I'm never getting married in the military. Like that was my thing. Like
brother, yeah, you did.
I did that. Yeah, I know you did. But Steve, man, you got a red jewel, so that's the difference. Like you don't count. You different.
I got 2 rare jewels.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful ones.
Yes. So yeah,
and then we didn't raised up some rare jewels.
Did you raise some rare jewels?
Saying?
I mean, yeah. So where would we leave off that?
She was about to say something. She was about to say something.
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
that was the comment that the women imagery that we have of the bride is not yet she doesn't come spotless. She has spots and wrinkles, but he comes to cleanse her and wash her and purify her.
Yes.
Right. So this idea that you're going to always get a perfect virgin situation of a woman, is the ideal, but the imagery is more likely that she has spots and wrinkles.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the key word, ideal, right? But again, this is one of the things that we got to recognize. We are patriarchs. No, we are. What do they call pioneers?
Yeah, we're working toward being patriarchs.
Right, we're pioneers working, which means that we are the ones who are cutting down the timber. We're the one that's advancing into the frontier. We're the one that's building the roads when there is no roads, and chopping down trees and all of that stuff, and adding cement and infrastructure and all of those things, right? Into an environment where people can come in and enjoy. Those after us can come in and enjoy. That's what we're doing here. And I'm not just talking about the men. I'm talking about men and women.
Yeah.
We're all coming out of Babylon. Because most of us are coming out of Christianity. Most of us are coming out of paganism into this truth. And so therefore, when we're taking a step further and now we're delving into patriarchy and polygyny, when most of us have nobody in our family, nobody around us that have walked this path that we could sit down and be mentored by. That's most of us.
Wow.
And so the reality is that, yo, as men, not only we coming out dirty and trying to get ourselves cleaned up, the women that we got coming with us are coming out and they dirty and they got to be cleaned up. So we can't be thinking as brothers that, okay, Yah has cleansed me. You understand? So therefore, I'm going to leave my sisters behind. The reality is the pool is what it is. And I'm talking about even sisters that are in Zion, because you meet a sister in the kingdom, yo, she still got thinking in her head. She still got Babylon that she got to work through. She still got them ways, and she got the TV shows and the sitcoms and the music videos and all of that is in her. She was raised in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm walking with you all, Sister Deborah specifically. You know, maybe Ema might be the more appropriate term of address. I'm walking with you, right? And so you talk about how the groom is ironing out and getting rid of these spots and wrinkles. My question to us is, who is he presenting her to?
It's a good question. You got that?
Well,
Paul
to her
says
husband.
it.
To her husband.
There you go.
He's the groom. Wait. He's the groom.
He's the groom. Well,
so who's officiating this wedding?
Oh.
There's nobody to officiate. I can't answer that question. You got me there, brother. Because there's nobody to officiate. He's doing it for himself. He's cleansing her to take her home.
He got a father?
She's supposed to be does he have a father? Yes, he has a father.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's presenting her
to his dad
and himself to the father. So he can't afford for her to look any kind of way but perfect, because he himself is perfect.
Yeah.
So
because
the love, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying because for him to otherwise do so would bring shame to his father's house.
Ooh, so you can't
check. The father could reject her, and like this is what I was talking about before on like episode like previous.
This is yummy stuff. Okay.
The father can reject her as a bride for his son.
Yeah.
And the son will submit to the will of the father. Right. So she gotta be right in order for this to work.
Yeah. It ties back to where it was borrowed from. This is that what he's talking about is what do you call prescriptive monogamy through the Catholic Church borrowed from, when it says in the wedding vows, is there anyone here who would disagrees to the joining of this man and this woman, right? And so if the father objected to it, or any of the witnesses would object to it, then they would say that. But they borrowed that from the status that the father always had.
But the only accuser would be Hasatan, the adversary of her. Or him, right?
Yeah.
The father is only looking at what's in front of him. So if what's in front of him is a hot mess, popping her gum, snapping her neck, you know, or if what's in front of him is, I don't have to. If I want to show cleavage, I can show cleavage.
Yeah.
You know, what's in front of him is, ain't nothing wrong with me wearing fishnet stockings. If the son is like, yo, you can't wear that. Ain't nothing wrong with me wearing, 12-inch heels if that's what I want to wear. You just need to be a high value man. Like, if the mentality of Israel toward her groom is this way, she's not ready to be presented. So when we look at prophecy, if you will, and we say things like, yo, like we say things like, he could come tomorrow. No, he can't. There are things that have to happen fully in order for that to take place. One of those things is there got to be a bride. Like, there has to be a remnant of people that is not going to form this anorexic type figure. Like, she has to be complete. And so right now we are going through the work of getting ourselves ready, whatever we are. If we the pinky toe, if we hit that toe against the couch, the toenail is healing, because she got to be perfect when she stands when they stand before the Father.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way. That is so wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That the father can reject the bride
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And the son is not going to fight the father on it.
That he's
Right.
If the
submitting
father
to the word.
says she's not free, this ain't
Yeah,
the one.
right. And that's why
Mm.
Abraham, sent his servant with certain prescriptions.
Right.
Requirements for the bride for his son. Yes.
Listen, I want you to vow to me, to put your hand in my hip, and I want you to vow to me that you're not going to get my son this type of woman. I want you to get that type of a woman, right? And so why? Because he sets the standard. It's the father's standard. It's not the son's standard.
And then we have two representatives of the father entity represented when this covenant is made between Abraham and the entity of Elohim that we see, where he puts a deep sleep on Abraham, and when Abraham wakes up, he's the one going through in between the pieces. So the covenant, it doesn't, like, the covenant is between these two entities, these two father figures. Israel, the nation, is a byproduct of Abraham. It's not like they just existed on their own. Abraham had to exist, then Yitzhak, then Yaakov, then the tribes, then the sons, then the tribes, and then it creates the image of this woman. And when we see them leave Shemot or the wilderness, go into the wilderness, and he reveals the character of the king. In order for you to come into my house, this is how you have to this is how you have to live. Right. So a whole first generation couldn't fit the bill. He's like, that's okay. I'll wait on the next generation.
But they weren't ready yet. They weren't clean.
No, second generation made it in. But the first one didn't.
Didn't. All right. Let's get back. The answer is to the question, should a wife always be put away for adultery? The answer is Torah permits putting away for uncleanness, yet Yah allows mercy, and repentance bears fruit, and covenant is honored. Right?
Sometimes.
So there's a path. Right? It's not always absolute, right? That and it's the prerogative of that husband, right? Whether if he's going to extend mercy by allowing her to come back. It's not, he doesn't have to divorce her because he found out that she was letting somebody beat the cookies, right? And that's in Deuteronomy 20.
You wearing gray, but you was a colorful brother.
Deuteronomy 24, 1-4, we see the example of, a man gives his woman the bill of divorce, sends her out. She goes, becomes a wife of another man, right? But the scripture says he saw something indecent in her. The text doesn't tell you what the indecent is, right? You can surmise or infer what you think it is, but nevertheless, it's something that is unclean to him. He saw in her, right? So that being the case, what if it was she was dealing with another man, or she had eyes for another man, right? That could have been what it was also. It's not necessarily because she burnt the rice, right? It doesn't have to mean that, right? But nevertheless, he saw something indecent in her, and the text implies that she had a path coming back had she had not been become the wife of someone else after him. There's a path for her to come back, right? There is a path for her to come back, right? If she meets those requirements, right? Like she doesn't become the wife of someone else after him, right?
So she opened up her mouth to say, "The Most High told me to choose the one." She gotta sit and wait that out. It might be a year or 6.
Yes.
But if he told you that's the one, that's the one.
It's the one. It's the one. So the other passage was John. Go ahead.
Or he was never the one.
Or he was never the one. Yeah.
Did you want me to read the Devarim?
Did we do that? No, I just explained it you know, just for time's sake. But what I do want us to read is John 8:10 through 11, as it lines up with that, because the Deverine, I just explained it. But yeah,
yes.
All right, Steve. So, okay, you want to read that, the 10th verse?
Sure. All right. Yehukanan, chapter 8, verses 10 and 11 says, all right. Straightway up, Yahushua said to her, woman, where are they? Did no one condemn you? And she said, no one, master, or Adon. And Yahushua said, then I do not condemn you either. Go, and from now on, sin no more.
So now in this thing about should a wife always be put away, right? What does the master do to this woman, right? Because he is acknowledging that she sinned. He's saying go and sin no more, right? But you know, as we know, they didn't bring the man, they just brought her and presented it because they really just wanted to catch him, trump him up, and falsely judging him according to the law, right? But the reality is that he forgives her. He makes the point that he forgives her. In other words, adultery is not an open and shut case in all instances. You know, just because she committed it, in this instance, there was a path for her to be restored. You know, just don't get caught.
Well, that makes it harder, right, Brother Michael?
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Just don't get caught, right?
No, not don't get caught. Don't do
That's
it.
That's what it sounds like, right? It sounds like saying like, yo, just don't, because if you want to do it and you want to make sure you don't get stoned, just don't get caught, right?
No,
don't do it at all. Don't listen to me, guys. I'm joking around. I'm being facetious. Don't listen. Right?
Because it is. Tell me again, brothers, why that had to be cleansed. The nation had to be cleansed. Like if it was something outright bold face.
Yeah, we touched on that the last time.
She's asking for the reminder. The
reminder.
Recap.
Because that law is really clear. It's like y'all said to cleanse the land. It was beyond you. If they
I mean, he also uses that in Jeremiah 3, and we went through that the last time. It's this whole idea, because you get the distinction in Jeremiah 3. How does he treat Israel's adultery from how he treats Judah's adultery? The difference between Israel and Judah is that Israel just didn't come back. She just was not repentant. Judah came back, even though she still went, she still was dipping back and forth, but there was a difference.
There was a difference in
heart. Understand? And so he showed the two. So the fact of Israel not coming back is her being devoted to those idols out there. She was married to those idols out there. So for him to take her back in this unrepentant state, and that's the thing. It's the picture of the wife when she's divorced and she's put out, and she goes and becomes a wife. She's yoked. She's become one with someone else, not just in body, but in up here.
And in her mind, loyalty.
You understand? And we know scientifically, as Yahweh brought out the last time, in the DNA. That man is ever imprinted on her.
Which is why if her man shows up and it's like, yo, let's go, sometimes she's like I don't know what to do, because she's
glitching,
bound herself. Right. It's glitching. This shouldn't be.
Buffering.
This should not be.
Yeah.
Right. And so she's like, who do I listen to? Who do I submit to?
Like the dog, right? Who got the ball, right? The dog is like, yeah.
But put because there is something.
Did you say a dog?
You know how you got one person got the ball, the other person got the dog, and the dog is like, who's going to throw the ball? Who's going to throw the ball?
Brother Michael, you're comparing us to
analogies.
That's why I'm like, oh.
I mean, I get a lot of hate mail. You want to get it worse?
Look. I thought when he was
Listen,
gonna be
man.
like, no, my dog, like my bro.
I didn't say bitch, right?
Oh God.
Did I say
Well,
bitch?
well, there you have it. This is
Okay.
the man cave. This isn't the coffee
Definitely.
table. This is the man
We
cave.
keep it raw up in here, son. We keep it raw up here.
Woo.
Yeah.
Palpitations. Got heart palpitations. Beat your chest. Beat your chest. Yeah. So where we at? Yeah, don't listen to Mike.
He's happy.
He said don't listen to Mike. Yeah. So where we at? Come on, y'all. Y'all messing me up, man. Y'all throwing me off, son.
You're the
where
one
we at?
doing the banners. What's the next question, Brother Michael?
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so we asked that question. We did that already. We did the John 8. And I guess the next one I have is just repetitive. I'm not gonna, I guess we can do it. And it's really basically repetitive. Does scripture demand divorce for every case of adultery? Right? Which we already made that point. It's not in every case, right? But I want to go to the answer. No, Yah himself offered restoration to his adulterous bride. So divorce is permitted. Exactly.
He offered it to both of them.
But he did.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. So there should be a plural there. You're right. You're right. Should be a plural there, right? So divorce is permitted, not commanded. Y'all wasn't commanded to divorce, right? You know, and so we are not commanded divorce. Only under certain circumstances, right? But they're not commanded to do so, right? Okay.
But is it Father, part of the Beatitudes that the Father wants you to be merciful? Because
yes,
you play the role of Yah in the marriage. And, mercy.
Yes, exactly. And that's the whole point about Hosea is what I was drawing at. Hosea is a picture of Yah, the husband to his people, right? It's more than us focusing on how we're supposed to be acting as a people. It's also for us as men to focus on how we should be acting as husbands. And that point is not often highlighted when we look at Hosea. I don't have to take on a prostitute because that was just an example. Most men don't marry virgins in our day and age.
That was the point that Brother Graybeard was making earlier.
Yeah, we don't marry virgins. They're far and few. That's just the reality. You talk about, you know, bringing a woman back after you divorce and she goes and be the wife. You got some women been married 3, 4, and 5 times.
That's a fact.
That's the day and age we live in. Listen, in Paul's day, there's a historical record by a historian by the name of Juvenal. He recorded of this woman in she was a Roman citizen. This woman,
did you say Juvenal?
Juvenal. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Juvenal, like Juvenal. Yeah, not Juvie from Gas 20 Million. Rapper, but Juvenal. That's his name. Yeah, Juvenal.
What?
So, yeah, it's where we get the word juvenile from today. So that's a Latin word, Roman word, right? So, but he wrote in this historical account that there was this one woman who was divorced 36 times. And she was barely in her 30s. That's how rampant divorce was in first
those
century.
days. Well, it wasn't nothing new under the sun.
In Roman culture, right? So in Roman culture. So the thing about divorce was very rampant, right? So men were throwing away women. So really, Israel was only reflecting in Yeshua's day what the Romans were doing.
The culture.
What the culture was doing. Divorcing their wives for any and every reason, right? So let's go to that passage there. That's the Matthew 19:6-8, because we brought out that point the last time, and I think that it's good that we highlight this point again.
Brother Bear says Las Vegas marriages. Yeah, Elvis.
Las Vegas. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get divorced in 48 minutes, or you know, you wake up and you married to somebody. You know, I'm married now, right? Somebody get drunk and they be married the next day.
Or it's possible they were using this woman as the come up.
Right.
If she was in a affluent family, but let's say some reason, maybe she may have not been attractive, whatever.
Mhm.
A man will marry her, hold her
Mhm.
for the time that's allotted, then
Mhm.
divorce her. Now he just elevated in status.
In status. Oh
And so
yes.
Mhm.
now these men are just taking advantage of the opportunity
Yeah.
to marry and divorce. And everybody got, you know what I'm saying? They got on their best Tim McGraw hat, you know what I'm saying? They got on they smoothest Johnny Gill lyrics, Brian McKnight,
Mhm.
you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Man,
Yeah. 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 All right, brother, can you read from verse 6, please?
of course. It states as follows. Matanyahu 19, starting at verse number 6, says, so they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore Yah has joined together, let no man separate.
Right. So, he's solidifying this point that, you can't look at your woman as being this detached thing that you can just get rid of, because that's not how Yah looks at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, that's why we did the analogy the last time. It's like, yo, how readily are you, if you are a baseball pitcher, right, and your job is to throw the ball, right, and you mess up a game, are you gonna chop your hand off because you messed up a game? No, you're
Mhm.
gonna get out there and practice. You're gonna work it out. You're gonna
Mhm.
do something that's to try to improve yourself, so that not only you keep your hand, but you're gonna keep your job, right? And so this whole idea that, I'm just gonna quickly sever this woman, for any and every reason, right? Yeshua said that was foreign in the beginning. He said, because therefore what Yah has joined together, let no one separate. The next verse, brother, please.
They said to him, all right, why did Moses command to give her a certificate of divorce and send her away then?
Yeah, so they want to know, like, yo, Moses gave this certificate, why we can't use it? It's the clause is there. It's a tool. Why can't we use this tool? You put it in the toolbox, Jesus. Why can't we use it? Right? It's in
Not
the toolbox,
Jesus.
Jesus. Don't you know? You put it there, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, that's their point. Like, it's there. So then what is it doing it there for if we can't use it?
Mhm.
Right? Notice what he says, 8, verse 8.
He said to them, because of the hardness of your heart, El Moshe permitted you to divorce your wives. But from the beginning, it has not been this way.
So what he's saying is that before Moses, that means men just weren't just divorcing their wives because the wives did something that was egregious to them.
Mhm.
That means that they worked it out.
Mhm.
Something happened over time through the course of sin, as a result of sin, right? Where men's hearts became hardened. And because of the hardness of men's heart, not willing to reconcile, he gave you this bill. He
Mhm.
gave you this command. He gave you this provision. That's the point that he's making, is that, it's there not just so that you can use it, or you say willy-nilly, right? It's so that you can
Yeah.
use it for any and every
Yeah.
reason, right?
Mhm.
It's there because your heart is hard. It's a provision because your heart is hard. But in the beginning, men weren't divorcing, so their wives could have committed adultery, but they weren't just readily divorcing them.
Can I ask you a question now that you're on that
Yeah.
topic? Because right now the 80% of divorces are actually initiated by women.
You don't say. Blasphemy.
So if Yeshua was saying anything about that these days, would he really
Right.
be speaking to the men about this or what?
Yeah. Well, again, now you're talking about a reversing of, in his day, he was talking about a reversing of this idea of men detaching themselves from their women. They didn't see them as being one flesh with them. They
Mhm.
didn't treat them
Mhm.
like being one flesh with them. That's the
Mhm.
point that he was making, right?
Mhm.
But in this day, women divorcing to this, there's been a shift in allowing women to have authority that women never had. Women didn't have the right to divorce in Yeshua's day, let alone in the beginning. Eve didn't have the right to divorce Adam.
No.
Right. So that's a new cultural norm that was ushered in by these changing of laws.
Yeah, the
Right.
Romans.
Feminism. Right.
Mm.
Feminism. And that's how you had this woman divorced 36 times. Right. Because not only she was getting divorced, she was divorcing also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But can the arm divorce itself from the head?
Right. And that's something, can the hand decide I'm leaving this body? Right. No. All decisions are made through the head.
Mm-hmm.
Except the reflex. Involuntary movements, right? All right. So yeah, that was it. So we answered that one, right? So what was the all right, so good. So now the next question is taking in a single mother and her children, is it simping? Is taking in a single mother and her children simping?
Wow.
It could be.
It could be, right?
Could be.
What now, based on what we talked about so far between today and last week, what would make it so that it would be simping?
Who's conforming to whose program? That's what determines whether or not it's simping. If he takes her in and now he has to conform to her, he has to live according to her. My man wakes up and says, "Hey fam, Shabbat is morning to evening." And she's like, "That ain't the way I've been living. The way I've been living, we go evening to evening."
Right.
Then yeah, he might be simping, but if she comes into his home, his space, and she is yielding and teaching her children to do the same, then nah, he's not simping. It's actually very salvific. And then, so that's like base level. We can take it a step further and say that if she says, okay, I recognize that ultimately the seed belongs to the man, then I got to do the hard thing and offer the opportunity for the father of the child of children to actually take his seed. And oftentimes, women have an attachment to their children. That's completely understandable.
That's natural.
That's natural. That does not take away from the fact that even from a Torah perspective, when you leave the house, it doesn't say you and the children leave. It says that you leave. But like all that's been acquired is supposed to belong to him. So supposed to, if we're looking at it from a Torah perspective, because we're looking at it from the understanding of patriarchy, right?
Yeah.
You're coming into him to build him. You take upon his name. You're supposed to take upon his reputation, his character, all of that. So if the house is conformed to his program, then it's not simping. But if he is conforming to her and her program, yeah, my guy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But you got simp, son.
Yeah. So now how would you reconcile? Now I'm gonna press you even further on some of the stuff that you just said, because I think it's very important for the audience. And listen, because we know we have brothers out here who have children, right? They are in situations where they share a child with a woman, and we live in a society where women have rights. We're talking about earlier about women having the right to divorce, but women also have right to remain with custody. right? And so now, what does he do in that situation? Like, can he tell his woman that, yo, Torah tells me that, the children belong to me. So, but what if she's not cooperative with that? How does he reconcile that? How does he work that out?
Well, this is tough. This is a tough topic, right? Because there is no one size fits all for every situation.
Yeah.
In every situation, I would not advise or recommend, and I am no one, you know what I'm saying, but a friend, a brother. I wouldn't in every situation, I wouldn't recommend somebody fight. Sometimes you have to let go and let the Most High fight your battle.
Yes.
I promise you, I've seen the Most High move in the most unimaginable ways to get someone to conform that's trying to live according to the Torah. So in some instances, if it's not, you just got to be led by the Ruach. If the Ruach is compelling you to fight, hey, take it to court, do your thing. But if he's not, then sometimes you have to take your hands off. Sometimes you have to eat the L. Do you really think Abba Abraham wanted to let go of Ishmael? No, he didn't. He didn't.
Right.
To the point that the Most High had to visit him and let him know, listen to the voice of your Isha.
And that is a clear example of a patriarch, right? Talking about patriarch versus simp. Doesn't make you a simp if you make the decision to let the woman take your child. In all instances.
Yeah,
right?
nah.
It depends on the circumstance.
It depends on the circumstances, right? Because now you got to look at all the resources, the time, the energy, the effort that's going into fighting someone, for what already belongs to you. And so you can exhaust all these resources and all of that just be a tool to distract you from your purpose.
Exactly.
Versus letting go and letting the Most High move in the situation, giving it to pray about it, like literally pray about it and see what he will do for you. And then also keep in mind that there are some fathers that don't want their children.
Right.
And so that man is not a simp for taking in this woman and her children. Now it would be and her children, because there's no one claiming the children.
Right. Yeah. The children are fatherless coming in.
So now this man is taking upon this role as a redeemer type figure where she had no head, where she had no authority over her. Now he steps in and assumes this role to where when it's time for Israel to be counted, if you notice, the families that didn't have a patriarchal figure, they weren't counted. It was always counted by the man. So if this man says, hey, I see them, I know her, she's trying to get this right, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm going to go ahead. I'll do the honorable thing and let her be counted among us. Right. Like Rahab didn't establish herself. She came and integrated. Like she came and became one. She became covered
she assimilated.
By an Israelite. Yes.
Yeah, she assimilated. Yeah, she's indeed. And that's the thing. Like Salmon didn't conform to Rahab. Rahab conformed to Salmon.
Same thing with Ruth. I guess she conformed also to the.
She conformed exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. You got a fan here, brother.
Yeah, Viceroy. Shalom, brother.
Hey, shalom, family. Shalom.
And,
Yes, that's my man
yeah,
right there.
and just
yeah,
one
yeah.
question from
Tao
somebody
Yahoo.
here. Yeah.
Or would it be safe because the husband agreed to sign the papers?
Wait. Here's the first question because he asked it up here.
Unrelated, but could a man be at risk of committing adultery with the woman who initiated her divorce? Yeah.
And then the rest of it. What would it be safe?
Yeah. Now it also depends, because that's the thing. If she's coming out of paganism, right? Pagans don't keep Torah, right?
Yeah.
Neither does the institution in which they signed some papers and made a covenant agreement.
That's pagan.
That contractual agreement came with a caveat, a way out, called divorce for any reason.
It's pagan. Yeah.
So if they entered into that situation under the premise that either of them could initiate a divorce, you can't now infuse Torah on top of something that's dirty. You can't take something that's clean, put it on something that's dirty, and say, okay, the whole situation is clean now. No, Torah's over here. This is this dirt over here. However, this dissolves, as long as it's according to the law of this system, that's what it is. If a woman just leaves and abandons her post and then claims, oh, I'm divorced. If a woman is married to a man,
that's common. That
sends him a text and says, you know what, I'm divorcing you. Count this as your bill of divorce. That don't count, because you got married under a system. You have to conclude that under the same system.
You're still in contract. You're still in contract to the state. Yeah.
Nathaniel says that this, which is why I will never again get a state marriage license.
Smart man. Yeah, smart man. Right. Okay, so here's the answer to is taking a single mother on her children simping. Answer: compassion for the fatherless is righteous. Compassion for the fatherless is righteous when guided by discernment, to Yahweh's point earlier, not desire or guilt. Because some women will guilt you, into being what do you call it? A stepdaddy to their children. Right. So it has to be for righteous reasons that you're doing this. So you got to be very careful, in terms of doing this. So Deuteronomy 10:8 and James 1:27. Let's pull those up. 10, that's 10:18. Deuteronomy 10:18. Let me pull the passages up. All right, sir.
Long-winded in my responses. This is a deep. Some of the rabbit holes are deep.
Yeah. It's one of those topics that make you want to dig, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Starting at verse number. Devarim, chapter 10, starting at verse 18, says,
18.
He executes justice for the orphan and the widow, and shows love for the sojourner by giving him food and clothing.
Right. So basically, break that down. What is that saying?
That, listen, like to do wrong by them, by the orphan and the widow and the sojourner is to do wrong by them is not wise.
No.
Because he's going to advocate for them too.
For them.
Yeah, like he did Uriah.
Exactly. All right. So 127 of James.
Jacob. Chapter 1, verse 27 says, pure and undefiled religion before our El and Abba is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained by the world.
All right. So how do you visit an orphan and a widow in their affliction. What is
Are you
this word?
asking?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, what is this word visit? Matter of fact, I'll look the word up. To visit.
Strong's G 1980 episkeptomai. Episkeptomai.
It's
All right. So Strong's defines it as to inspect, by implication, to select, by extension, to go see, to relieve, to look out, visit. All right. So now let's see what it says here in this text. If we go down to it, it's the scripture. That's James 1:27. Okay. All right. So to visit, to go see one, the poor and afflicted, the sick. Right. So to see, to go visit one, for what purpose? What are you going to go see? To look upon, after, to inspect, to examine with eyes. So you're looking for them, to care for them, is the point that he's making here.
To
looking
meet
out for them.
needs.
Yes. Right. So to going to look, to take care of, to look after, to look to them, to go visit them, to right.
Yeah.
The orphans and the widows. In what kind of a way would you be looking to them, or looking after them, or caring for them?
Meeting needs.
Meeting their needs, right? Just meeting their needs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this, he says, is pure and undefiled religion. And that is to do so. Because it is implying that there is religion out there that is defiled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right. So for people to say that they have Yah-fearing religion, right? But yet they do nothing about the orphans and the widows and the afflicted, then it's bogus, right? It's the point, right? It's defiled.
And
right?
can I make a comment
Sure.
that said that the number one need, is it safe to say that the number one need of orphans are fathers? And the number one need of a
They need a
woman
daddy.
as a widow, as a cover of some sort? That is
Yeah,
a man.
they need a daddy, right?
And the woman
they
needs
need
a
daddy.
man. And
Right.
a head of some sort, not necessarily marriage.
Right.
but
And
This
exactly,
is-
the woman they need leadership, they need covering. Right. Right. Well, this is what, brother.
This is so we see that the decline of young boys growing into men of character was flourished in the single mother household.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. Why? Why is it declining? Why is it dissipating? Why is it seems like it's decaying? This idea of seeing young men raised in single mother households. Why are you seeing less and less being produced of good character?
They can't become something they don't see.
They don't see. Right.
The whole idea of Torah is something that is literally infused and passed down, infused and passed down, infused. And this is the patriarch. Just having children doesn't make you a patriarch.
No.
Just being able to beat your chest and my wife brings me slippers when I step inside the she greets me from the door. Yes, my lord. Like that is not a patriarch. No, it's not. Like the patriarch is the man who is now passing down the heritage of the culture and making sure that the generations that exist in his time have it.
Yes.
That's a patriarch.
That's a patriarch. Yeah.
And so these men who are going to visit people in this status are now coming in and meeting needs. And yeah, it could be a consideration of, I will allow my name to be attached to you. I'll cover you with my name. It could
Right.
mean that.
Right.
Mhm.
What is that called when he does that? When a man does that, what is that called?
He's redeeming her.
He's redeeming her, but there's another name that we use when a man allows the children of this woman who's not his biological children. What does that man? What did he
Adoption.
just do? Adoption,
Mm.
right? There's something
This-
something
The
else
spirit
about
of adoption.
spirit of adoption, right? So when we come to faith
Mm.
in Yah, through the Messiah, it is through the spirit of adoption that we become his children.
Mm.
We're not natural children to him because we had a father. He was the adversary, right? He was the adversary, right? So Yeshua said to the Jews that he was debating, he said, "You are of your father, the devil." Right?
Yeah.
We come out of his kingdom, we come out of the, his direction, his leadership, right?
Yeah.
So he was a father to us,
Yeah.
right? Until Yah stepped up with the papers and said, "You know what? I'm going to take you in and give you my name through the spirit of adoption."
And again, Yah
Right.
was not simping by doing that. That is
He
his
was not
example.
simply, right? And again, it
Yeah.
goes back to
Mm.
the picture of Hosea is an
Mm.
example of Yah saving us,
Redeeming.
that the redeeming the unredeemed, right? The ones that's not redeemable, right? He's still redeeming us, right?
Mhm.
While we were yet sinners, right? He did this for us,
Yes.
right? He went through this court process, right? To take us on through the spirit of adoption. We weren't even thinking of him, right? Yet he was doing this for us. And so that gives us that picture. So here's the thing. If we are adopted kids, right? Then what happens to the children who a man takes in and gives those children his name? They become adopted kids too, as well. So we have the correlation, we have the similarity there, that compassion for the fatherless is righteous when guided by discernment, not desire or guilt. All right. So what happens when a man tolerates rebellion in his house? Is it
Wickedness
simping?
reigns.
Wickedness reigns, right? It rules.
So many brothers do that though. So many sisters I know are so rude to their head.
This is because I'm trying to be careful. We have men like Eli, and Eli had two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, who was crazy, and
yeah, that was crazy.
And then
they were doing some wild stuff at the temple.
And then Shemuel has two sons.
Mm.
And you know what I'm saying? They didn't do so hot either. So I don't know if I'm gonna fix my mouth to say that Shemuel and Eli was simps because they were about the father's business. I don't know. If a man
sips, is he a simp? Charades.
Okay, I needed the moment. Okay, here we go.
You can do it. You can do it. Tell us. Spit it out.
It's all right. It's all right. You got this.
A man can be a simp for not leading his home.
Not leading.
If a man has a wife or wives, children, or a child, and he's allowing them to run rampant You know, the examples in the script were provided for our learning.
Mm.
So, you know, I can look and say, who did Eli and Shemuel, who did they have written as the example versus us today? We have them for our example. So
Right.
I would say that the man today who doesn't lead his house may be simping, unless there's a really good reason why he is moving the way that he's moving.
Yes. 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 And so if he's tolerating this rebellion, that's exactly what it is. Definitely. I see that. So here was the answer that I have. Tolerating rebellion weakens authority. It corrupts seed. It's going to corrupt the kids that you rear, right? Oh my goodness, I hate this new thing they put on here.
Yeah,
And it
put that back
invites
up.
judgment. It invites judgment upon the whole household. Tolerating rebellion, it invites judgment upon the whole household. That's what it does.
So you could be praying and asking for something, and it could be what the Most High would want for you. But if your house, if you haven't designed the infrastructure of your house to receive it, by receiving it, you would only make things worse.
Right.
So you're praying for a child, but you have a wife that is, you know, on the other end of submissive. On the other end of that,
polar side, right?
Yeah. Then you can't expect the Most High to honor you by giving you, you know, a son or daughter, you know, whatever, because they're only going to be worse because they have an example of what bad looks like. They're going to push that.
Exactly. Brother Sheldon said, what would be an example of rebellion in one's house, children or wife? There's lots
I can give you an example.
Thank you.
I can give you an example for children. How about that? And it really depends on the husband or the man.
She took the easy one.
Yeah. Well, because I was a daughter. Okay, I was a daughter. I had my little phase of rebellion, but my father was a minister, so he had a low tolerance for rebellion. And so an example there would be when he gave me a curfew and I came 5 minutes late. I slept outside. Like, I slept outside on the balcony. He locked the door, turned on the TV, totally pretended that I wasn't around, and I slept outside. But that I was giving as an example of the fact that it depends on the position of the father and his rules and how he runs his show in that sense. So what you would consider, oh, he's being too strict. He knows his sheep. You know your daughters. You know who you're dealing with, right? And tell you that little example there kept me in line for the rest of my little teenage lives. You know, but
you remember that sleep out.
No,
you
I
can't say
slept on the
sleep
balcony
out
all night long. My mother wasn't allowed to check on me. He had an eye on me. I'm sure he did, but he pretended that he didn't care. I was outside all night on that balcony, and he didn't say anything. And he opened the door again. You know, it's like, hi, morning. That's it. You know, never was late again. So what you would consider that wasn't rebellious, but for him, that was his tolerance. That was his level. It's like, no, that's it.
Yeah, he cut it off before he allowed it to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because what would have happened if he had not put his foot down and not tolerated in that moment? What could it possibly have?
I would push further. I would have pushed further because everybody wants to know the boundaries. We want to know the boundaries. So if a man doesn't give us the boundaries, if the father doesn't tell me where his boundaries are, I'm going to keep on looking and searching and pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not even just knowing the boundary.
Yeah.
It's understanding that he will follow through on the consequences.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't.
I can threaten you all day.
Yeah. And that
if you do
happens
it again, I'm going to lock you out. If you do it again.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot. And then what happens is the threat means nothing.
Got to follow through.
You gotta
Yeah.
follow through. Yeah. Or your word means nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Proverbs 29:15 says, "The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother." So, in other words, this idea of discipline, it gives wisdom. But when you leave the one that must be led, the one that must be guided, the one that must be taught, and that could be woman or child, right?
Woman or child. Yeah.
They're gonna bring shame.
Mhm.
They're gonna bring shame. Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that every man really knows when a woman is being rebellious? Like it's kind of obvious if she is,
It's
right?
well, I mean, you can speak to it, right? I mean, is there a way that a woman can be rebellious that's not so obvious?
Maybe when she's submitting to another man's advice over yours, especially spiritual one or
That's
whatever.
good.
She
That's a
goes,
good one.
yeah, that's not obvious, but it is rebellious.
Wow.
How about we do this instead?
Mm-hmm.
How about we do this instead? How about her favorite phrase is "How about"?
How about we do this?
To everything you say.
Yeah.
How about we're not gonna do that?
My one is okay. All right, so what we gonna eat tonight? Oh, I really don't know. I don't know. I don't really have nothing. I don't nothing in mind. I don't know what to think. Whatever you pick, I'm fine with me. All right. Let's eat Pete's. Let's order from Pete's. Oh no, I don't want that. How about we get this? Hold on a minute. What do you mean? How about we get this? They're gonna how about, right? How about we get this?
Yeah.
You just said whatever I pick. And it's just be something just as subtle as that.
But that's because we have been conditioned that our words don't mean anything.
Oh.
Man, the words are so powerful. Sister Deborah, this brother to your left, from my vantage point, your right,
yes,
can say a word to you and it crush you. Or say a word to you and you could be crushed and it lifts you right out of that.
Yeah.
With words, with vibrational frequency and tone.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
It's powerful. So when we say whatever you say, that's what it is. Pizza it is.
But what happens when the woman goes against your word, right? I know clearly what you want and I do the opposite. Right. That's
women do that? Do women do that?
Yes. For example, you told me that you don't like me dressing skimpy. Like if you told me or women, a lot of men complain about the way the woman would dress and she would do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Or he says, I don't like the wigs, or I don't like the eyelashes, or I don't want you to hang out with this friend of yours, and I want you to stop this relationship with this coworker. And she continues anyway.
I don't like when you wear that in public. Why?
Like and you have to ask why exactly. And then another one.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just trust that on this day I'm saying this and it's somehow it's for your best interest? You don't need to know why. Rather than being like, okay, is there something else you would prefer me wearing?
Yeah.
But when a husband doesn't cut off the rebellion, it just festers like a cancer, because that's where the arguments are growing.
Well, I mean, that's really what rebellion is in and of itself, right? It's a rebellion against Yah, right? And it's like a cancer, and it will eat. And if you don't destroy it at the point at which it begins, it's designed to spread. Cancer is designed to spread. A canker is designed to spread. You gotta destroy it at the point where it exists. It initially exists.
I find that if a couple has a lot of arguments, or if a wife complains that they're always arguing, it's usually because she's rebelling against his authority, and she likes
Right.
to call it the man. He's controlling. He's he doesn't have. He always wants his way, and
So if
and
a
if
man that always
Mhm.
wants his way is controlling, what is a woman that always wants her way?
Good, it's a trick question.
Right.
Why is
Right.
that a trick question?
She'll say that. She'll say that's a trick question. What is it? It's a trick question.
She said it's ordered. Like I like Nathaniel's response when he said conditional submission.
Yes. Top
Mm.
I think that's a great summation. Conditional
submission. Submit only if
it suits me.
Right.
If I agree with you, is it submission?
Yeah.
Submission begins where
agreement ends.
Oh, somebody remembers.
I love that quote. It's such a profound, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I spoke to him yesterday.
You did?
Brother Elder Moses. Yeah.
That's so good. That hit me hard. That was like that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was really, that was heavy though. That was heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. All right, so where we at right here? All right, so we did that. Oh, here's another one. Can a backsliding wife be restored even after having a child born from her adultery? Let me pull it back up again. Can a backsliding wife be restored even after having a child born from her adultery?
What do you guys think in the chat?
So the wife goes out stealing time, right? On the job. She goes out and she gets involved. She gives up the cookies and she comes home +1. And it ain't you, right? I mean, if we talking about a woman committing adultery, she can be restored, right? Can a backsliding wife who goes out and actually conceive in her adultery, can she be restored?
I got so many caveats to this.
You got more caveats.
I got an answer, and it comes with conditions. All right.
You're going to be conditional.
Like a marriage.
You're going to be conditional answerer.
Yeah. So the answer is hell no. Except
hell no.
Except it could be yes if, right? All right. If we got to now make some decisions, right? And she has to yield to those things. First thing is, who does the child belong to?
No. We being clear with it. It's not his.
No. You're missing what you're missing what I'm saying.
Okay, no. Okay, no. I get you now. Go ahead, brother.
So
I get you. I know where you're going.
I present it a different way.
Okay.
A man has a wife. A farmer has a field. Okay. A man has sown wheat in his field, and an adversary has come in and sown among his field.
Tears. Yeah.
Who does the child belong to?
Who does the tears belong to?
Who do the tares belong to?
In this case, in this example, right? Who's the owner?
Exactly.
Who's the owner of the land? Then you're talking about
exactly.
Ooh, okay.
Not so now that owner has the exclusive right to say, if this is going to work, you got to take this tare and give it back to the owner. the one who bore that seed, or he can say, let them grow up together, and let's just see what comes of this. What you're gonna battle with is the reality that a man may come in and say, hey, that's my crop. Those are my tares. And so, like, do you want to deal with that? The weight of that. She could be as repentant as she want to be. Do you want to deal with the weight of that? And you have the exclusive right to say yes, and you have the exclusive right to say no. And you shouldn't feel guilty one way or the other, because it is your exclusive right. You didn't catch her in the act, but the fruit of the action manifested.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yes. Yes. And that's that's one of the hardest things. You know, we talked about earlier this idea of it's hard for women to give up their child, to acknowledge that the child belongs to the father, because women are attached and women are accustomed to the idea that the child should stay with them.
Yeah,
right?
Or it belongs to us.
But the idea of, you know, okay, you had sex with this man's woman and you impregnated her. And now she's bearing your fruit or your seed inside her womb under another man's roof, or the man's roof that you basically stole her from, right? Stole
So
time
if he treats you, let's say the man, right? Whoever the man, the husband is.
Right.
If he treats this child less than, I mean, he's not giving the love, care, and attention that he pours into his children. Is he wrong?
Yeah, because sometimes farmers try, or people who have gardens, they try to starve out or do things that will mitigate against the tares.
Yeah, there's a point here that I think this brother's kind of making too. What do you think here?
There are some foreign seeds that can corrupt the whole crop. Yes, of course.
A little leaven.
Leaven is a whole lump.
Leaven is a whole lump.
Right.
I could see the example.
But based on what Yahweh is saying, like as the owner of the land, he literally has the right to abort that baby
from his house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying he can
under Torah, right?
He can.
The punishment is death, right?
Hey, give this. It's only death if she's caught. That's what I'm saying. And so in this instance, she could go through the whole, like, she can bear the weight of her sin by going through the pregnancy, delivering this child, and then having to surrender the child to the man in which it came from.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, here's another dynamic you got to look at. They both grow up into in your home, but she starves out your child from the love, affection, and emotion.
Which is what a tear does.
She's putting it all into this child who is not even a part of your house.
Yeah.
Right.
For the very reason that she feels sorry for this child, because this child was produced in sin. And that sin is ever before your face.
Yes. Yes.
Or not the sin, but the result of it.
The result
of
the
sin. Yeah. It's an ever remnant, ever reminder, you know, inside your mind of what was done. That awful deed.
And now you have to wonder, right? Now you have to battle her desire, her affection, her like all of that being invested into this child who she gave back. Like it's a heavy. That's what I'm like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I said hell no at first, and I was being facetious.
Yeah,
But I'm saying, like, it's a weighty thing. Like,
It is.
Very,
It is.
very
And,
weighty.
it's exactly what sin actually does. It takes that which is simple and makes it so complex.
Very complex. I have a
You know,
question though
it takes
for you
it
brothers
distorts
about
it.
that.
Yes. Mhm.
About the headship. So let's say the how does a man feel when another man comes now into his kingdom, in his home, and says, "Well, that's my child, so you can't tell me what my child what to do," and he starts, having some
Here
kind of domain, and the child lives.
here in the States, it all depends. You know, oftentimes if the man is married
Mm-hmm.
to this woman and she's pregnant,
Yeah.
um, oftentimes judges won't even allow the man who's claiming that that's his child
Oh, okay.
to
Have him
even
join.
get a petition in
I
or
was.
get a
Oh,
or what do you call it, a paternity test.
You took
nothing.
this right out of where I was
He
going
just
Oh,
next.
he just got to take the L. He's got to take
The
the L.
the
oh,
laws of the land
Yeah.
favor the
oh.
husband.
Okay. Well, that's better.
When
Yeah.
a
He's the master.
woman and
He's
a
the master of the
man
land.
are married,
Mm,
the paternity is always assumed to be the
mm,
husband's.
Oh, right.
mm.
He's the master of the land, and everything on the land belongs to him.
Okay.
And that's why
So
it's up to him.
it's up to him. So he can also bring the child for adoption or something like that as well.
Yeah, he
I
can
I,
determine what he's going to do with the child,
I,
right?
I
But
would
I'm just saying, it's like maybe it's not Torah based,
Mm,
but according to, how would you say, the laws of this land here, this is the
mm,
secular society, like he
mm,
might believe in abortion. He might decide, like, yo, nah, you
mm,
getting rid of that.
mm.
You're getting rid of that. Yeah. There's no tears growing in my garden. Just like fathers and mothers would march their daughters, and I know, march their daughters down to the abortion clinic. Mind you, that's somebody's seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink to that.
So what happens when they grow up in the same home, right? You just go ahead and love on this child, and they grow up in the same home,
Yeah.
and this other child turns out to be the next Michael Jordan.
Mm.
How does that fare on you as the pay? You see them?
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's a lot of
Either way, it's
consequences.
okay.
Yeah.
Great there. That's a good question. If the tear is sown, is it your garden?
Yes.
It doesn't, because a tear comes up in your garden doesn't make it not your garden. If somebody trespass on your land, it still doesn't mean it still is your land.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't the scripture?
I used to hear that doctrine a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the scripture about the daughter that gets violated by a man and the father has a right to choose to marry her or not. She could have been pregnant. So whose child would that be? The father's or the man's?
Yes, the child belongs to it. It really isn't no different. Like, the picture is clearer in the book of Exodus. I think it's the law 21, the law relating to the servant.
Yeah.
And it talks about that if a man brings in a man as a servant and he gives him a wife and they produce children,
Yes.
when this man is released,
Who does the
he
children
can
belong
go out.
to?
He can go out free,
Mm.
but the wife and the children still belong to the master.
Right.
To the
He's the landowner. He's the master.
Yes, Brother Michael did a series on that one. I love my master, but I don't like. I
love my wife, but I hate her slave master.
Slave master.
Yeah.
You got to leave the wife and the slave and the children behind. Yeah. Mm.
So yeah, I used to belong to a group that used to teach this doctrine of, you know, if it's yours, it's gonna listen to you. If it's yours, it'll come back to you. If it's yours, you know, if she cheats, she ain't yours. If this happens, she ain't. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense in relation to the text. Because if this daughter steps out and violates your name as the father, she's a representative of you. If she violates your name, this man owes you for violating your name and your reputation.
Your name. Exactly. Yeah.
That's deep stuff. Deep stuff here. Going here.
All right, so here's the answer. Restoration is possible only when repentance is proven and the wife submits to her husband and remains rooted in Yah's word. So yeah, it's possible that she can be restored, but those are the conditions, right? Those are the conditions. All right, so go to the next question. What are the consequences of adultery in a patriarchal home? What's the consequences? Consequences. What's the consequence?
Was she caught in the act?
The question doesn't really ask it. But let's just say she wasn't caught in the act.
Then death is off the table.
Oh, what? So wait. Here, hold up. So if you did walk in and you caught her in the act.
Yeah. There are laws in America, depending on the state that you live in, that if you executed the judgment of execution, it's called a crime of passion.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, there's a thing called bloodlust, and you know, that's real. So there, I can't fault a man for catching people in the act. And then your issue is that if you went and got a gun or a knife or a sword or a bow and arrow or a spear, or, you know what I'm saying? And this is not your everyday carry type situation. If you plan this out, it's now premeditated. And so now that's premeditated murder. It's a different type of situation.
It's not a yeah.
But I'm no attorney, and I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. So he said no, not caught in the act. That's great. You can put her away. You can forgive.
But isn't there a scripture about if a man said, "Can a man put fire in his bosom and not be burnt?" It's a proverb.
Yeah, Proverbs 5. Yeah.
There is something. There's a consequence that will burn.
Yeah. So yeah, in other words, that's just really letting you know. And actually, that's the next passage that's going on with the answer. So,
is it? I just didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. So yeah, look at her. She off that girl.
Let her cook.
Adultery begins. I hate this new thing. All right, here we go. Adultery brings shame, spiritual defilement, and general instability unless swiftly judged and purified. So if it's not swiftly judged and purified, it's gonna bring all those things. It's gonna bring spiritual defilement, shame, right, instability, right. So Proverbs 6:32-33.
It says, "The one who commits adultery with a woman is lacking a heart of wisdom. He who would destroy his soul does this."
Right.
Wounds and disgrace he will find, and his reproach will not be blotted out.
Will not be blotted out. In the previous chapter is what Sister Deborah is making mention of, the fire in his bosom. It's towards the end. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's in the 7th chapter.
Was it the same one that you're
Or
reading
it
a
might
little
be
bit
6. It might
further
be 6.
down?
It might be 6. It might be 6. It might be
Yeah,
6, but further down.
just further down. As you read it, it continues. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, 27.
It says, "Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned?"
Yeah. So it's inevitable that if he has anything on that's
Then
that's flammable, yeah.
it
Poof.
says, "Or can a man walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched?
Impossible.
So is the one who goes into his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her will not go unpunished."
That's just showing you that the inevitable nature of the consequence of being punished with going in and touching the neighbor's wife. All right. Men do not.
Oh, sorry. "Men do not despise a thief if he steals, to feel himself when he is hungry. But when he is found, he must repay sevenfold. He must give all the substance of his house.
Here
The
we
one
go.
who commits adultery with the woman." Oh, we just read all that.
Yeah, right. And that's all right. So that brings us back full circle to that. Right. And the next passage is Numbers 5:20 somebody.
Bemidbar 5.
All right, 5:27. What's going on here? Hold on.
I'm there.
All right. So yeah, go ahead. 27, 28.
It states, Bemidbar 5, 27 and 28. "So he will have her drink the water, and it will be that if she has defiled herself and has been unfaithful to her husband, that the water which brings curses will go into her to cause bitterness, and her abdomen will swell, and her thigh will fall away, and the woman will become a curse among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, she will then be free and conceive a seed." This is the law of jealousy. When a wife, being under the authority of her husband, goes astray and defiles herself, or when the spirit of jealousy comes over a man and he is jealous of his wife, he shall then make the woman stand before Yah, and the priest shall apply all this law to her.
Okay. So you know what? We still got some more boxes. I don't know whether if it's just because it gets deep and big. But yeah, we definitely, I don't want to belabor it too long. So here we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So what are we saying here tonight?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's so much.
Yeah. What are we saying?
We're saying Salah. Pause and reflect.
Breathe in, breathe out.
There's a great cost in
adultery,
playing the harlots, and although
the
Hosea was long suffering and merciful, if you read the last of Hosea, the chapter of Hosea, you can also see a lot of judgment going on there.
Yeah,
and like mercy is not the prescription for sin. Put that on the shirt.
Yes, no, you're right. Mercy, yeah.
Hebrews tells us that if you go on sinning after, how does it say? After
receive the knowledge or the judgment
of the truth, right?
The truth, knowledge of the truth. Yeah.
There is no more forgiveness for you.
There's no more forgiveness in. Right.
Yeah. So, brother, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, because that's that's kind of like you basically see in Torah the burnt offering, the sin offering being offered um w- for sins that were committed that were unintentional,
Uh-huh.
but not so for the sins that were intentional.
Mm.
Sins that were intentional deliberately um often always led to what do you call it, putting the capital punishment, right?
That, yeah. Yeah, so I
Right, so there's
intentionally
no
murdered somebody, then this led. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Mm.
And it's so, but it's generally the lot of the sins were unintentional, where you see
Mhm.
this the burnt offerings, the sin offerings, the sacrificial offerings being
Mm.
offered, and you offered them once you became made aware of it, right? So the
Mhm.
unintentional sins is like, you committed it, but you didn't even realize you did it. But once you learn, or was it was brought to your attention that you actually sinned, then now you got to go off, you got to seek forgiveness going. But for to a person that willfully, like the those that were gathering sticks,
Mm.
on the Shabbat,
Yeah.
right, they
Yeah.
had to be stoned,
It
Yeah.
was
right?
just one
Because
person.
it's the one person, but it was intentionally done,
Right.
right, is
Mhm.
the
To
point.
purge out, like, if you enact capital punishment on
Mhm.
something you deem insignificant, it's going to
Mm.
cause the people to fear, right? And to
Mhm.
yield to the instruction because they
Mhm.
Right.
understand the gravity of rebellion or disobedience ultimately is death.
Mm.
So,
I mean, that's how respect is maintained on the streets, right? With gangsters, right? The whole idea that is about reputation.
well,
If
Mm.
you do the
I
slightest
wouldn't
thing,
know.
the slightest thing that will cross, you know, their reputation, or put a shed a bad light on their reputation,
Yeah.
they got to get rid of you. They got to
Mm.
make an example, right?
Yeah.
And Yah's that way, right? When it comes to the book,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Yo, if you're gonna cross in an intentional way, like, yo, you got to be dealt
Mm.
with. You got to get, like,
Mhm.
David got the business.
Right.
Mm. David did
He
too. Yeah.
suffered. He suffered
Yeah.
dearly for what he intentionally did.
Yes. Yes. And
I,
he
I read
knew
a
better. Mhm.
I read a story this week about a man who committed a crime. Like, I think he participated in a robbery, and they said that he was supposed to go to jail. They told him when he was supposed to report, and um, there was a mix-up in his name. Okay, and so they told him to go home and wait until he got called because they didn't see him in the system. This is a true story.
Mm.
So this man goes home and he waits, and the punishment was like 15 years or something behind bars, right? So this man goes home, he lives his life, he gets a job, he loves on his wife, he gets married, he loves on his wife, he has children, he never commits another crime, doesn't get a speeding ticket or nothing. When
Mm.
he was supposed to be released, that's when they discovered he never went. And so they came and arrested him. But the city, the town came together and advocated for this man because essentially he did on his own what prison was supposed to do, rehabilitate,
Mm. Mhm.
Right.
and
Mhm.
they let him go.
Mm.
The
Mm.
point that I'm making is to the
Mm.
point that Mike's previous banner,
Mhm.
brother Mike, his previous banner was that if a person is truly repentant, like, mercy can be bestowed upon them. You can forgive her, you can keep her, you can wash away, in a sense, this from the book of remembrance and grudges. I'm gonna say and grudges because we
Mm.
some grudge holding people. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, we hold up that torch.
Um,
Mm.
but yes, adultery would be an act of rebellion. It's the
Mm.
ultimate act of rebellion.
Yeah,
Mm.
Um,
yeah.
and um, mercy is an option. To the man, he doesn't get away with it. There are consequences, and we underestimate the power of the Most High. The Abba Yah told Dawid, the sword would never depart from your house.
Wow.
As violence is ensuing on his house, you don't think Dawid understood? Like, I get it. When Amnon did what he did to Tamar, which I believe it was his stepsister, but others believe otherwise. I personally believe it was his stepsister. It doesn't matter. Like, Dawid is looking at things as they unfold, and he's like, I gotta eat this. Absalom chasing the throne. I gotta eat this. I gotta be patient with him. I'm not trying to kill him. You know, and all the things that happened relating to his house. I think that if Dawid knew that was the consequence to what he was going to do, he wouldn't have done it. Or like when he did the census on the people, and the Most High was like, all right, here's 3 consequences, pick yours. If we knew up front the gravity of the consequence, oftentimes we wouldn't do it. We think we know. You know, hey, I'm not gonna get caught, so I ain't gonna have to worry about. Like, the Most High's justice is so precise.
Yeah, but the thing too is that he does give us an idea, going all the way back to the very first law broken, right, in the garden, right? The day you do this, you will die. So he does gives us in his Torah that there are consequences. There's general consequences that's stipulated, right? But like to your point, you don't know the gravity to the degree or to the magnitude or how it's going to play out in your specific situation, your specific circumstance, right? But he does give us a general idea that, yo, you go down this path, it's not going to rock well for you, right? You know, so even beyond, you know, knowing the intricate details of how your punishment is going to play itself out till its end, right? You at least know it's not going to end up well. All right. So Yah gives us that much, right? Yo, you do this, it's not going to end well. Yeah.
Is it safe to say that a patriarch sets that up in his house too? He warns his wives, his children.
Yes. I mean, you can't lead what you can't monitor, have access to, and have the authority to correct. You know, correction, monitoring, you know, given a regulations, a system of standard, right? Setting a standard. All of that is a requisite for being a leader, being in charge. Like, if you don't have those tools, then you're not in charge. You know, you got to have access to it, right, in order to be able to lead. If you don't, then you're not the one that's in control. If someone else controls the standard, if someone else controls the monitoring, and someone else controls the consequences.
The consequences, yeah. You're not in control.
They're in charge, not you.
Yeah. Well,
thus, then the husband or the father bears the weight of responsibility as to what happens.
What happens?
That's the conclusion. Yeah.
You wait till your father gets home.
Yeah. Well, that was a scary one when I heard those.
You wait till your father gets home, right? He's going to determine what's going to happen. Yeah.
And it's up to him. Yeah. Wow. I would say that's the definition of a patriarch. Is that's an episode.
Yes. So, we definitely have more banners on this. We don't really have to finish this. We could make this into another topic one day and just move on to something else for the next time. Because there's a lot more, right? There's a lot of banners for this particular topic. But we don't necessarily have to. We could move on to something else for the next time. But hopefully you guys got something out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I mean, we covered a lot. We dug. We went down a lot of rabbit holes, right? You know, and which is good. That's what this is. This was should be. It should do. This is the whole thing about it. We should be digging, right? And when you dig, you don't know where you're gonna end up at. You don't know what you're gonna come across. You don't know what you're gonna, you know, what somebody's gonna say, or what's a question, or somebody's gonna just throw a thought out there, right? Then we go down and we go investigate going that way, right? So that's what happens. Yes. So yeah, definitely. If you enjoyed the stream, definitely give us a like. Give us a like. You know, share definitely. And if you've never subscribed to the channel, definitely, if you want to subscribe and get future notifications, click that notification bell for sure. But we want to definitely give a shout out to, you know, the folks on the panel. So first we have, well, he's not here today, but this is Brother Jeremy. This is his channel. So definitely go on over, check out his channel, check out his content, like, share, and subscribe. Right. And then Call for Wisdom. That's that lady on the upper right over there. This is the call letters for her channel, Call for Wisdom, Sister Deborah. A wealth of content that you could go on over and, you know, got a good videos, a lot of videos that you may want to pass along to, you know, your daughter, your sister, your woman that you're espoused to consummate with, or whomever, your wife, right? Yeah, definitely a lot of content. Brother Noah, he's not here tonight, but this is the call out of his channels, Tree of the Field. Go ahead on over. He has a package of streams, live streams of him just doing teachings. You want to go on and go check him out, like, share, and subscribe. And then we have Brother Tony. He's in school, so he wasn't able to be with us tonight. And this is the call letter to his channel. Going over there, like, share, and subscribe. And the man, Brother Hermano, right?
This guy. Yeah, you can just shoot me an email.
Yeah, shoot him an email. Yes. And yeah, and that's it. So we also said earlier about prayer requests. So, you know, as we closing out, ask just say a mass prayer for whoever, whatever, you know, whatever your prayer request you may have, you can type it in. He's not gonna name out the prayer, you know, call it out, but definitely you know, he's could do a mass prayer on behalf of everyone who's has prayer requests for you, yourself, your loved ones, or whomever, your situations, circumstances that you may be enduring. And announcements.
I want to say shalom to my good brother Jay Lutch. I see him in the chat on Call for Wisdom.
I saw him in there. Yeah.
I was not on earlier when you were doing the shout out to your pa, Q. You know, shalom to her. And all praises that she was able to host the panel that was done. I also want to say Toda Rabah, thank you very much to brother or Lorvins. His channel is Son of Shemites. That's where that was
the platform that we used.
The platform that was used. So I just want to thank him for the opportunity to be able to open up a platform and now introduce a demographic maybe that didn't even know about digging in the word or Call for Wisdom.
Yeah,
and now you know the family's gotten, you know, may have gotten bigger because of that. So thank y'all, Jay Lutch and Amir. Thank y'all for allowing your houses to participate on the panel that the women did, and then
excellent job.
Lorvin's actually doing the hosting when me and Amir did it on that channel. So I just wanted to say, I saw some of them in the chat. I wanted to say Torah to them and shalom. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready when you're ready.
You ready? All right. So announcement this coming Shabbat, we have our Shabbat morning Bible dig. Our last episode of the fasting. No, our last episode of how Yeshua, Torah, and polygamy are used to evangelize the gospel or the
Mhm.
world,
To the world.
right? To the
The
world,
world.
right? To the world, right? So definitely, you want to check it out. We're talking about polygyny. So yeah, this Shabbat morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And can I
Love
make
it.
one more? Can I make
Yes.
one more announcement? And that is, I recommend that everybody who wishes to keep in track with Digging in the Word, because we have been shadow banned as a channel, would send
Yes.
email, sign up, and
Yeah,
would send your
yeah,
email.
definitely.
Brother
Yeah, let me
Michael.
put it. Yeah, let me put it
Mhm.
up. Yeah, so definitely, yes. Email me, and then that way I can put you on the list,
Mhm.
and you can get future notifications or whatever it is that we're doing that's new, right? So you can stay in the loop.
Stay in the loop, because otherwise YouTube doesn't necessarily let you know what's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So we just got to work around it, right?
Okay.
All right,
Mhm.
brother.
All right. Abiyah, we come before you right now and we say Toda Rabbah. We are grateful and we are humbled by your presence. We are humbled by your mercy that you bestow on us each and every day. I ask that you lead us and guide us to truth so that we do not misuse your mercy. That you help us so that we do not act a fool inside your grace. We ask that your loving hand rest upon us continually, that you aid us in living out your instructions. Abiyah, there are prayer requests in the chat, and I saw, I ask that your loving hand rest upon all those women who are carrying righteous seed in them, that you protect and preserve their pregnancies, and that they have safe deliveries. I pray for the babies, the ones that are coming up right now, that are being raised in the light of truth to the best of our abilities, that we be able to raise them in the light of Torah, and that they be deemed righteous in your sight. The sons to be righteous men, young patriarchs, and the daughters to stay virgins until their fathers are giving them away to righteous men. And thus, we have at least a group of people that are overturning modern culture and returning back to your way. I ask for the safety and preservation of each family on this call, and those that are not in the chat, and those that are not, that are seeking to honor you in this way. I ask for the elders that exist among all your people, that you give them health and strength and encouragement. I ask for the teachers, the mores, morim, that and the moras, that they walk according to your instruction, that you guide our words so that we do not sin against you in the things that we say and or teach. And I ask Abiyah, as we, your people, seek to bring honor and glory to your name, that we do that. And that in the end, we hear, well done, good and faithful servants. May we be that and aspire to it all the days of our life. We ask that you forgive us of our sin, and that your hand of mercy be on us as we travel to and from our destinations this week, until we meet again or see your face. We ask these things in Hashem Yehoshua and Hashem Yah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
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 Praise the Father.
Mhm.
Praise the Father. Bless. Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you, everyone in the
Yes,
chat room. Thank you
everybody.
all. You
Yes.
definitely made this a wonderful, powerful, great,
Mhm.
yet another one live stream here on Man Cave Mondays,
Mm.
right? I definitely enjoyed the dig. So until
Yes.
next time, for King and Kingdom, we bid you shalom. We love you all. Many
Shalom,
blessings.
everybody.
Torah.
Shalom,
Blessings.
shalom.
Bye.